So,
Yes, y'all. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, it's the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror, episode 22.
yeah.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
22.
The big 22. And I'm probably going to go out on a limb here and say that most people have probably realized at this point that this is going to be the season 1 finale. So for everybody that doesn't know out there, this is going to be the season finale. And yeah, so I just thought I'd throw it out there. And Jeremy, how was your weekend, buddy?
It's pretty good, actually. I actually went out and did shit instead of being a bum. I got a lot of movies this weekend, and I found some pretty awesome scores this weekend.
I noticed that you went on a journey though, man. You were like in Milwaukee posting pictures.
Yeah, I was like 70 minutes from my house. It's like, but it was worth the drive. At least I didn't fucking waste it.
Well, that's good though, man. I mean, I cannot believe that score that you found. And I think it was a Half Price Books.
Yeah, it was a Half Price Books.
The Evil Dead.
Yeah, I was surprised about that.
Every time I looked at something, I seen like Cemetery Man. I'm just like, motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm so jealous when I see those things.
That's in the mail going to Dubbies.
Man,
I go
fucking crazy the shit you were finding though, man. There was like definitely a score.
I got the Book of the Dead, and then I got another copy of Cemetery Man. I got Campfire Tales. I got Contracted. Got that Memory of the Dead. I got like 6 Blu-rays and like.
Yeah, I seen you had a really, really good one in there. Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw. I totally said
that's
that.
a great movie, dude.
Yeah, man. You should have watched my update and you see what I would have said about you in my update.
I did not. I was looking at those pictures you was posting in like a half awake, half asleep like days, which I'm still in right now. All this week has just been like a blur to me. I don't even know. I was actually forgetting what day it was at certain moments.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that leads me into my question. So you have, how was your weekend? I know that you just got promoted at work, so that's fucking hard. That's gnarly.
Yeah, that's about the only good thing that's happened this week. I've pretty much had, a
you gotta look at that as a real good thing and just throw out the bad, man.
Yeah, well, because I actually was going to quit. And I go into my boss's office, going to put in my 2 weeks notice, and I walk out with a promotion. So that was kind of
really odd. That's really the only way to do it, though.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate.
Now, did you say you were gonna quit and she gave you the promotion, or you just like?
Yeah, it's a he.
Oh,
it's a he. It's a big, intimidating black man.
Oh man.
So, I mean, he's actually a really cool guy once you get to know him. But on at first glance, he seems kind of, intimidating. But, that all happened. And every day after work, I've been going over Walmart just, like, begging for something to, like, be over there. Because I've pretty much looked at everything in Walmart. And, like, on Tuesdays, they kind of have some new stuff. And I did see they had a bunch of new steelbooks out, like kind of like those comic ones that they did.
Yeah,
I have a couple
I saw
of them.
those.
Yeah.
I was gonna grab the King Kong one because that was like the closest thing to horror. But if it was like $10, I might have. But like 12 something, I was just like, ah.
The King Kong remake.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hate that
Jackson
fucking. I hate that movie with a fucking
I don't
passion.
hate it.
Oh, I saw it in theaters when I was in middle school, and I was sitting there, and I just wanted to shoot myself. I was like, this fucking movie's 3 hours long.
I'm actually with Jeremy on this one.
Such a drag, and I was like the only one at the time who was like, this movie fucking sucks.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, man. I saw it in the theater, and I shit you not, halfway through the film, my back was so asleep, I thought I'd become like a quadriplegic, man. I couldn't move. It was ridiculous. Like
so long. I think it's like the longest movie I saw since like Return of the King. But
yeah,
like that movie came out 10 years ago already.
I actually kind of like it. Like I kind of like the King Kong movie. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it.
To be honest, I seen a bunch of those steelbooks at Wal-mart too, and the only one that I wanted to grab was the Blues Brothers one, and of course it was the only one that they. Of course, it was the only one they didn't have. They were sold out of it. I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't want to double dip on that, but it's a cool looking steelbook.
Yeah, I
totally.
also thought I liked the Terminator 2 one, but I already have that on Blu-ray. I don't know, I just don't want to rebuy it. But I like the idea behind those, comic book style looking steelbooks. They look fun to collect, but I don't really buy a whole lot of non-horror stuff. So,
sorry, go ahead, Moods.
And that's exactly what I was thinking when I was in there. I'm like, why don't they start releasing a little bit of horror titles with those, comic
it's
book
under
covers and stuff?
Universal.
Exactly. I mean, they have lots of things to release, and I shit you not, I was thinking the exact same thing when I was looking at these, going, really? Okay, they have some new ones. I'm like, there's no horror titles at all.
Yeah, but
Jurassic Park and King Kong were like the closest to horror.
Did you see what 20th Century Fox is doing at Walmart though? With those movies that they took the normal releases that you could get
and they put
anywhere.
The slip cover on it?
No, they didn't put a slip cover. They put like a different cover on cardboard, and they taped it to the front of the regular Blu-ray, trying to sell it as like a different edition. It's like all it is the regular edition, and they printed a fucking cardboard thing and put tape on it and taped it to the front.
I actually did not see that, and it's a good thing I didn't, because I probably would have started tipping shelves over.
Like I'll find a picture. I'll find a picture of them and send it to you guys. It's just like, why the fuck are they doing this? They're ripping people off by just like sticking this fake cover on the front of it.
I was also looking at the Godzilla. They had a bunch of different Godzilla double features, and there's so many of them that I didn't care. I don't really care to get those like single editions. So I was looking at them, and I was like, Mechagodzilla and Godzilla SOS or something on a double feature. I was thinking about grabbing some of them, but I was just like, I don't know. I don't even know where to start. So I did grab
those Moods.
You know, it's funny. Actually, I think next pay period I'm gonna go ape shit, and my whole update's gonna be like Godzilla.
I want to know if those are on separate Blu-rays. Those double features, are they on one Blu-ray?
No, they're on separate discs.
That may persuade me. Then
I actually watched Colin's update, The Deuce Lives, today, and because I knew for a fact that he picked those up, and he was probably going to say that, what the deal was with them, and of course he did, and he said that they're on different Blu-rays, and I was like, oh.
That's why I always open up my discs when I show my shit, because it's like, I'm always curious if like movies are on separate discs and stuff like that, because I'm anal about that. I will not buy something if it's multiple movies on one disc.
Yeah, well, Blu-ray's a bit different though, because they're so gigantic in space, but I'm with you. I actually used to hate even buying multi-packs in general, but honestly, if there's 2 discs now, I'm kind of starting to like them, because I'm like getting limited on space.
Yeah. But like the Hellraiser movies, like I don't want to buy those 4-packs. I bought every movie individually, even though it cost me like $20 more.
Well, I would actually hold off on buying any Hellraiser on Blu-ray right now, because I got like a possible suspicion that Anchor Bay and Scream Factory might be working together again.
Well, I didn't pay much for them anyway. They were like $3 a piece, so.
Yeah, of course you didn't, but I did.
But they're Echo Bridge titles, so they're cheap everywhere like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. King Kong and Son of King Kong or Son of Kong or whatever. It was on like a little double pack for like $5. I decided to grab it. So that's pretty much what I did.
Those are good movies.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen the original King Kong.
Oh man,
really?
That's a disgrace.
Yeah, and I actually did shake the case, and I could tell that there was 2 discs in there. So that's actually what the final like decision was for me to actually grab that. That's kind of funny. I didn't realize it until now.
I think I only have 2 multi-packs in my collection. I have that one with Brain Scan on it that I bought it just for Brain Scan, and like it has, and I have the Scream Factory ones. The all-night horror.
But to be honest, man, like those double features and stuff I think they're just done really well. Mm-hmm. Like, to be honest, like I really like the once again coming back to the TV Terrors by Scream Factory. I don't mind that it's on one disc, because to be quite frank, like if I'm gonna watch one, I'm just gonna watch the other. I was gonna watch both right there, and I didn't have to get up and change. It wasn't the worst thing in the world to me. Mm-hmm. I'm not complaining. I am complaining that no one went out and bought it, so I can't buy it wanting to.
Well, actually, we'll get into that a little bit later, but I did find out the Scream Factory actually, the last time I heard them talk, they did say that they had another all-night marathon planned. And this time I heard them in an interview, and they said at this time we have no all-night marathon planned. So something must have changed.
Oh, that's not good to know. That's not good.
Yeah.
I don't think it sold well. That's what you said, right, Moodz?
I thought they did though. The TV Terrors one we didn't sell well, but I thought the other ones did. The 4-packs.
Yeah, I thought they did too, actually, but I don't know. I guess if they're not willing to, push forward with one, I guess the sales probably weren't as good as we thought they were, which is unfortunate. But
hey, we got 3 new announcements this week, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, once again, you are tuned in to the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror, and of course, this is the season finale. And now we wanted to get in and not probably, but kind of give you guys, the breakdown of what we're doing until we come back in September. So,
I think that we all kind of. I know you guys do a lot of stuff in the summer. I'm pretty tied down with like a no life situation right now with work and stuff that I really don't have a lot going on this summer. I know you get Moods. You do like tons of shit in the summer. Jeremy, I think you said you do a lot of stuff in the summer. So that was the idea.
The week is but like the weekends is like I'm pretty busy during the weekends when we do the show. So
that's the thing with me, man. I work all week, and then usually when I get off work on Friday, I head out to the lake every weekend. So trying to make it back for
that was not Moods. That was Jeremy.
That was actually not me. That made me laugh. So I'm usually I'm out of town every weekend, and I just don't feel that we should be rushing things and stuff. So but we do have what is the date that we're coming back? September
9th.
September 7th, I believe, is the Sunday.
But that's why we're taking a break. We had this plan.
I think it's September 9th. I think it's September 9th, Moods.
This has been planned for months probably. We knew that we was ending, and we had Sleepaway Camp in particular as our final show because a kickoff to the summer.
Yeah.
But what we didn't plan was actually ending the show on the 22nd episode.
Yeah, that just happened.
And the reason why that happened is because we actually had a couple shows that we ended up not doing. Remember we had the
Dr. Fibes.
The Dr. Fibes show, and then the Valentine's show. We had there's a lost episode in space and time that nobody will ever hear because the recorder malfunctioned. So
theoretically, we could actually have 24 episodes if we had done those, or if they had gotten out there. But it turns out that it's the 22nd episode, which I think is quite fitting. Mm-hmm. I think that's actually pretty cool. So, but
and we're definitely coming back. We are coming back.
And just to let you guys know, we actually have a lot of things planned for next season.
Tons of things, giveaways, awesome different show ideas. Me and Moodz has kicked around some stuff.
Yeah, so I think that there's a lot of things that we're gonna work on and stuff, and also the summer was gonna give us some time to kind of basically
get refreshed.
Not just get refreshed, but it was also to put the final touches on everything that we want to do. So all 3 of us are going to work on this stuff this summer, and work on some possible interviews, and just and create like a new structure for the show. Not like a whole new structure, but just add new things into it.
Yes, exactly.
I've got some interviews lined up with some people,
and I've talked to people who just randomly have talked to people that talk to me first about interviews and stuff, which if that's happening already, I'm sure we could actually, if we seek them out, we can get some pretty cool stuff. And I wanted to quickly say, when we do this show week to week, we don't even really have time to like revamp things because it's like the next show, it's happening. Like we just like, there's no time to like try to, throw in new ideas. I mean, there's small amounts of time, but when we come back, we're going to have so many things that we thought about. It's like we're going to jail. All we have time to think.
That's good that you said that too, because I think a lot of people fail to realize that this show takes us a week to do. We have like all these things that we watch and we talk about, and we go out of our way to watch these things specifically, and it takes pretty much all week to do.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned,
it's hard to read all week.
We're preparing all week. Like JP's grabbing new, like we're doing things, to get this thing prepared for the week, and it's hard to kind of revamp your structure and add new things in when you're doing this and stuff. And that's why we also, leading up to this show, like we pretty much plan this entire season ahead of time. And I think people fail to realize that too. Like we planned out everything. So, and that was due to the fact of, maybe I didn't have a film, or JP didn't have a film, or Jeremy didn't have a film either. So it allows us time to, and it allowed us time to, get those films in and stuff. Yeah, and last week's episode was a perfect example. Or was it last week's? What we were supposed
Well,
to
we
do?
supposed to
we were
kill that
supposed to do
bitch.
Her Name
No,
is
no, her
Torment,
name is Tormented. That's right.
Yeah.
the Dustin Mills film, and of course, due to some shipping issues that ended up working out anyway, but we already switched it. We decided to just randomly go with Mr. Jones because it was readily available at Walmart and everybody could grab it. And there's been a few times where we had to change the episode. I know Jeremy wanted to do Gutter Balls and Hanger, and I got my copy of Gutter Balls, and it was thrashed. So I didn't have time to get another copy.
We gotta do that show next season, man.
So
Gutter
I forget
Balls,
what we
man.
replaced it with, but
Speaking of
it
Ryan
happens
Nicholson.
all the time.
I bet you he would do an interview with us if we asked Ryan.
Ryan Nicholson, he's from just by me.
Yeah.
He's from Victoria and stuff. And speaking of, I just actually ordered Dead Nude Girls off the Plot Digger website. So
Expensive though, man.
I was dying to check it out, and that's the thing. Like, you can't.
How much did it end up costing you?
It was.
It's like $30 plus shipping.
No, I bought the DVD. It was $19.99 plus $5 shipping in Canada. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually got good shipping for
Also,
I'm not used to that.
A little peek behind the curtain. Like you guys hear us mention that we record these shows late, at least on my coast.
Oh, me too.
Right now we're just starting and it's almost midnight. Like, so sometimes I sound extremely tired because I am, and it's just something that we have to deal with. It's an issue, but it's tolerable. We get through it. Moodz is the lucky guy over there.
I definitely have the nice end of the stick on this one. Like, it's only 8:45 where I am right now, so it's still pretty early. But
yeah.
But yeah.
So we are definitely coming back. There's without a doubt. We have a plan. We already have ideas. It's we love doing this. All three of us really love this show, and there's no way I don't see us coming back.
No, we'll be back.
No, we know we're coming back. We just have way too much stuff to offer right now. We got lots of ideas, like I said, ideas, and I think
I've watched more movies in these past, however long we've been doing this show than I have any, that same times frame.
I think we've been doing it for 6 months already, almost.
Yeah, it's been 6 months.
It's crazy.
And, we kind of just threw this thing together. We really didn't think about all right, we're going to have this segment here. Like, we did to a certain extent, but really it kind of just all happened. And we kind of tweaked some things along the way. But with all this time, we're going to have even more tweakage going on, and it's going to be like 2.0. It's going to be a great show when we come back.
Yeah, I totally agree. And speaking of shows, JP, do you have an announcement to make?
Yeah, so these guys have, actual lives. Me, I'm just like working nonstop. So while they're gone, I want to continue to talk about films that I've watched. So I'm going to have a little side project while we're taking a break. And I'm thinking it might be bi-weekly. But it's only going to be, an hour long. And if you look at our featured review at the end of the show, every time Mr. Jones or, the woman or whatever we do, the entity, it's kind of like that, but it's 2 films and they have a theme, like New York, where it'll be, New York Ripper and Maniac Cop or something. That's a theme. And then it's called a double shot of horror, and it's 2 reviews. And weekly, I want to have a different co-host on. Maybe Moodz will be there, of course, every once in a while. Jeremy, some other people that I've talked to on YouTube will pop up on there. And, that show will probably start next week or the week after. And, if you're interested, it'll be just like our featured review, no news or anything. It's just, a double feature of 2 films that kind of have some kind of theme. Should be a little bit of fun. And
that will stop again in September, or are you going to keep doing it?
Yeah, that'll stop when we come back, or, even before. I don't think I can handle doing 2 shows, 2 shows at once. Yeah, it's just a little something I want to do to kind of keep my interest going with, horror films and stuff.
Yeah, sounds awesome, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a great name, Double Shot of Horror.
Right? I mean, come on.
2 reviews, double. I mean, that's perfect. I like
that.
Right?
Right.
That's good.
Well, that's originally like why I named my channel Double Shot. I had that idea forever, like a double feature, Mm-hmm. And I used to like drinking a lot.
Yeah.
You got off the booze and went to energy drinks.
Yeah.
God,
just
I don't know
to
how you do it.
stay damn awake. Like they make fun of me about the energy drink things, but honestly, if I didn't like pop energy drinks all day before the show, I would be dead here, guys. Dead. I would not even be talking. All right.
All right.
Alrighty, so yeah, I guess we might as well get into the news. JP, is there lots of news this week? Because
not really.
I didn't really notice a lot myself, but I'm sure you know more than I do. So, anyways, yeah, get into the news.
All right, so there really isn't too much news this week. There's some cool stuff here and there, but nothing like major like weeks past. First up, the production Blumhouse, operated by Jason Blum. This is the company that put out the Paranormal Activity films, Insidious, Oculus. I mean, there's some good ones there, though. I mean,
Insidious,
they
I
put
have
out
to
some
give
good
credit.
stuff.
It's good. Insidious is good.
You definitely know that we're doing a paranormal show next
that
week.
is for sure. For sure we're doing that.
Oh, that's going to be rough.
I'm actually looking forward to it, man, because I've only ever seen the first one.
It's going to be good conversation. So yeah, anyway, Blumhouse, they went ahead and they secured, I guess, release dates for Friday, September 25th of 2015, Friday, January 8th of 2016, and Friday, October 21st of 2016. So it seems like there might be like a franchise brewing, or at least they are way ahead of schedule on what they plan on doing if they're already securing release dates for 2 years from now.
Maybe it's like Insidious, the sequel to Insidious and Paranormal Activity, but they're not in charge of the Saw series too, are they?
No, but they did say that the project's been a press release has had the project titled Untitled Blumhouse Horror 1-3.
Okay, so it has to be a franchise, maybe.
I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But who the hell's that ballsy? Unless it's an existing franchise.
Yeah,
that's a
5, 6, and
ballsy
7.
movie, because you could have like a movie like Creature that totally sucked dick.
But don't you just think that's setting yourself up for like so much heartbreak? Though, if you're planning on doing a franchise right off the start and your first film bombs so bad, like what do you do? Like how do you recover from that? You don't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I actually hate when people say they're going to plan a trilogy, because it never happens anymore. Like,
it's crazy.
You've seen it with Prometheus. You've seen it with, all these other films. They're like, this is going to be the start of Scream 4. Scream 4 was supposed to be the beginning of a brand new trilogy. And as production went along, it's like, well, there's room to continue the story, but we're not sure. Because, they start getting iffy.
Do you really want to see another Scream film, JP?
Yes, absolutely. Scream 4 was awesome.
It was awesome, but
it was so much better than Scream 3.
But
I love the Scream series.
It's always the first of the new trilogy is always the best one, and then they get shittier as there's like the Scream movies.
Yeah, but then we have like Scream 7 to look forward to.
But Saw 7 wasn't the best fucking one.
I tried to do a Saw show. You guys turned me down on it.
That show would be like 12 hours.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's we've spent way too much time on that little ass piece of news. That was a terrible piece of news. I just thought I'd throw it in there. After that, we have Bloody Disgusting kind of reported that a reader emailed them explaining that she recently spoke with one of the actors in Phantasm 5 who revealed, and this is unconfirmed, that it has a Tuesday, October 7th release date. So rumor, this is purely rumor. Somebody said they spoke to somebody and they leaked the information. But you know what? It sounds right? I mean, October 7th, the film's pretty much done. That seems fitting. I would definitely want to see Phantasm in October.
It's just a release date.
Hell yeah. That's like 4 days after my birthday. That's a good birthday present right there.
I'll wait for it, and whenever it comes, it comes. It's not like a shocking rumor or anything like that.
No, but I mean, I don't see a point to really make up that rumor, so it seems legit to me.
Yeah.
I'm sure that it'll probably be a direct-to-video release, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, there's no way this is going to make any money in the theaters. Only horror fans would see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too far displaced from...
Now, Moodz, do you know...
Fourth one.
Was all 4 released in the theater, or only like the first 2, or what went on with that.
I think they all 4 were actually
I'm
released.
pretty
in
sure.
theater.
I'm pretty
Wow.
sure all 4 had theatrical releases. Yeah,
Huh.
but like,
I think this is not terrible. I mean, we've seen it with Curse of Chucky, right? I mean, that was direct-to-video, in the director's care. Just like this is kind of,
Yeah,
it's
well,
like similar.
that's a good point though, because Curse of Chucky being the first film in the franchise that didn't have a theatrical release did really well too.
Yeah.
It was actually that is one film that really to this day surprises the shit out of me. I mean, for me, as good as it was,
it was good, man.
Even
Even
that's
the
the
body doubles of Chucky, it was still good.
yeah, and I'll never forget though. I'm like, oh, this movie's going straight to video. I'm like, okay, well,
See,
let's
that's because we are kind of in this weird transition where for the longest time, video was not good.
Yeah.
When you heard something was going to video, it's like, oh, shitty direct-to-video movie. Times are changing, guys. Direct-to-video is kind of where it's at right now.
Yeah, it seems like everything's direct-to-video that I watch.
Yeah,
Oh,
it really
for sure.
is. It really is.
I totally co-sign that. Totally co-sign 100%. I think it's just the fact that it was a film in a major franchise and all of them had theatrical releases. I was like, oh shit, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to admit, man, you guys grew up in the 90s and like everything was like straight to video in the 90s
but it was garbage
yeah,
straight to video.
because they
Here's a
obviously
perfect
weren't releasing
example.
anything in theater
you
in the
look
90s.
you look at this is the perfect throwback. You look at something like Hellraiser. Hellraiser 4 bombed, so they put it direct to video, and we got a string of shitty sequels to the Hellraiser films. Same thing with Children of the Corn, and now it's almost like that's like, because you're right. You look at it, anytime a franchise would leave the theater, obviously that means that it's no longer good enough to be in the theater. But for some reason, it's changing, and we're starting to see it unfold. And this is kind of the future. I don't think, I think a lot more franchises will be heading down this road.
I'd be curious to see if that's the case today. Because back then they had to print film. And film's a hell of a lot more expensive than putting it on a hard drive and sending it to somebody digitally. But I'm not saying that that's the case, because we're obviously not seeing as many horror films that we did back in the 90s. Like I think Oculus was like the last horror film that was in theaters, and that was like a few months ago already.
Yeah, I know. It really is weird that there's not a lot of horror in the theaters.
I think one franchise that would definitely not prevail from having a straight-to-video release right now would be Final Destination.
No,
and
you need that.
The reason why I say that is because those films are, they're studio films, but they have bigger budgets. But you need that type of film, right? I mean, if all of a sudden you make like a low-budget Final Destination film, I mean,
that's not going to happen. I think that franchise makes way too much money for New Line. That'll never ever happen.
Yeah, because everyone has been successful, I think.
I've seen everyone in the theater just for shits and giggles.
I'm just using that franchise as an example, just coincidentally that we talked about it last week though too, but it's just totally, that's a perfect example of one that has to be in the theater, I think. You need that big budget to make those films exciting. I mean, low budget Final Destination film, oh man, I don't know. I think You look, all right, so obviously Curse of Chucky probably did pretty well on video. And you look at things that are literally surviving on video, like the Wrong Turn franchise. The first one was theatrical, and it was a huge letdown because, the first Wrong Turn was awesome, but it did not do well. It was underseen in the theater. They throw it on to direct-to-video with Joe Lynch directing the second film, and it does well on video. And then they put out a third one. It's a terrible movie, but people see that Wrong Turn has power behind its name, that people saw that third one. And then now it's just the name alone is pulling people back, and they give a shot to the fourth one, and hey, it's way better than the third one, so I'll try Wrong Turn again. And then 5 comes out, and now they're working on a sixth one. It obviously these things are really successful on video if they keep making them.
Well,
yeah, man.
I think that's the reason why we see them so cheap. You could get them so cheap because obviously a lot of people buy them. They obviously printed a lot of copies of them, so like.
Yeah, I kind of look forward to that every time I see a Wrong Turn coming out in Walmarts. They're all in Walmarts, and you just got. It's like there's nothing else at Walmart, so I'm like, all right, Wrong Turn 6, I'll check it out.
Actually, there's been a lot of good stuff at Walmart lately. I'm surprised. Like I walked down, I'm like, there's a lot of pretty semi-okay independent horror movies at
See,
Walmart
I've
right
pretty
now.
much bought everything that I have in my Walmart that is worth getting, like Alice Kills and stuff.
Oh, you need to buy
Which is
Flu because
awesome.
that movie's fucking awesome.
I see. I haven't seen that one's not in my Walmart.
And
My Walmart's like kind of whack.
like I
They've
want to
had
get
the same titles for months.
like I want to get Scream Park. Like I want to see that movie for some reason, and I've heard it's actually not that shabby. Oh yeah, there it is, Moodz. Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, I actually bought Flu at your Walmart,
Yeah,
and unfortunately, I have not.
it's long, so
I haven't
you should-
seen it yet. No, I just haven't gotten around to watch them and just watching everything else. But
It's good.
yeah, my Walmart sucks, dude. I can't vouch for them at all. It's just horrible here. Like I mean, I walked in there and I saw Godzilla Criterion. I almost shit my pants. I was like, that's like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Did they have it on
Walmart.
Blu-ray or just DVD?
Just DVD.
That's
They
mine
never
too.
have. Yeah, they never have Blu-rays of anything.
Same thing with my Scream Factories. I'll see a Scream Factory in my Walmart, but it will never be the Blu-ray. Like I seen Day of the Dead when it came out.
Yeah, same.
I
I
would-
never see the Blu-rays.
It's
I always
always
see
the DVD, and I won't buy those. Like I want the Blu-ray, and it sucks because I would just buy my Scream Factories at Walmart if I could.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, I mean that kind of wraps it up on Phantasm 5.
Oh, that was a good discussion, though.
Is that what started that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've kind of like evolved as a podcast where one piece of news like triggers like a huge conversation about something else.
I like that though, man. I like that.
Yeah, it's fun. It really is. Torment. This is a new film acquired by Phase 4 Films.
Nice.
It's starring Catherine Isabel. That's honestly the only reason I grabbed this piece of news because I normally don't grab stuff that I've never even heard of. That it's just a new film. But if it has something significant like Catherine Isabel, I like her. This is getting a VOD release June 10th. It's from the company that did the Wreck film, I think, at least the first one.
Nice.
And it's when a family arrives at their remote cabin for a quiet getaway, they find the home vandalized. As they arrive, four psychotic intruders sets the stage, harrowing life or death struggle. This is a home invasion film with Catherine Isabel. Sounds fun.
Yeah. Phase 4, I really haven't been let down by Phase 4 too much. I haven't really seen that many bad Phase 4 movies. Moods, if you could correct me on that one.
Midnight Movie was okay.
They're usually like a good label. They usually don't put out too much garbage.
Phase 4 has done some really good films. I think most recently I watched a film by Phase 4, and I think it was Butcher Boys or something like that.
Yeah, you told me that one was garbage. I have.
Oh, it was actually really bad. Like, I was really pissed off. And, like leading up to that point with them, I saw a lot of pretty good quality films. It's kind of one of those labels that I think it's a little underrated. So
yeah, once you told me Butcher Boys sucked, I like threw it up on eBay and I got like $10 for it. So I was like, okay.
yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
But like, how many films are named Tormented? I have like four movies in my collection that are called Tormented, and now we have another one.
I
got a
have a
couple,
problem with titles like that because it just sounds so generic. And if that title just fell in a barrel of like other titles like Torment and Torture Chamber and this and that, like I wouldn't know which one to grab because they all sound the same.
Of course, you bring up Torture Chamber.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna start this argument again.
No, but you know the title Torture Chamber is garbage. That's an awful title.
Yeah,
No. I always said I didn't. I totally didn't think the title was cool. But okay, speaking of titles,
yeah, Jugface.
Jugface being renamed The Pit.
Yeah,
and I'm like, are you fucking serious? And this brings.
Why did they do that? It's already been released.
I know, but like,
is this for foreign? Is this like foreign? Because that happens.
But I think it was like a pretty independent release when it got released. Like,
it's in all the red boxes, dude. It's pretty.
Yeah, but
bigger than normal.
A whole bunch of other shitty films are in Redbox too. But
maybe it's a different company that released the film and they released it under the Pit. I don't even really know the whole story, but okay. My point is that there's already a film called The Pit.
Yeah, it's the movie that you loved.
Yeah, I love The Pit, man. It's such a great film, but I was like, really? Like, it's just, why would you rename it The Pit?
Yeah. I don't know. I like Jugface. That's a good title.
Yeah,
that movie's fucking awesome.
It is. It like, I've actually rewatched it, and I've got more of appreciation for it. So I'm sure David's all happy right now. But it did. I liked it the first time I watched it, but the more I watch it, the more I like it.
Yeah, that movie's good.
Yeah.
So
you have to watch that movie, JP. It's quite good.
Yeah.
Very, very intriguing story.
Yeah.
After that, we have Sci-Fi Channel is doing their own Shark Week. This is going to be
nice.
to commemorate the upcoming release of Sharknado 2, the second one. So Sci-Fi will be doing a shark-themed week in July 26th to August 2nd.
Now,
Is it actually called the second one?
It's Sharknado 2, the second one.
Now that we're talking about like
Hellbound, Hellraiser 2,
like NATO,
so
NATO
bad.
movies, I follow Lloyd Kaufman on Twitter, and he retweeted something today. He's like, somebody's trying to make mosquito
they need to do that.
like a mosquito tornado. I was like, are you fucking Lloyd? What are you doing, Lloyd?
So in this lineup, there's obviously Sharknado and but there's actually the sequel Sharknado 2 and a sequel to Sharktopus. So on July 26th, you got Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark, and then you have Sharkmania. This is on the 27th. This is going to be a kind of like a new countdown, the top 15 biggest, baddest, bloodiest bites, Sharkmania.
Oh, come on. Just watch James Rolfe's video, top 40 shark films, and you got enough for...
Yeah, of course you're going to have celebrities such as Ian Ziering, Brooke Hogan, Richard Mall, Downtown Julia Brown, and Mark McGrath.
Such big celebrities. I can't wait to watch that.
McGrath? Are you shitting me? Oh,
I don't think it's that guy. It has to be somebody else. But yeah, I mean,
big
Sci-Fi doing a countdown show. I'm sure it's going to be all filled with their shark movies.
Oh, it's pretty awesome, man.
How to not do it?
And then on July 30th, Sharknado 2 premieres, and then after that, on August 2nd, they have Sharktopus versus Terracuda.
You mean it's not Sharknado 3?
Sharktopus versus Terracuda. It's a half barracuda, half pterodactyl.
I'm dying over here. I have to see these. They're so bad.
Terracuda is hard to say, because you look at it and it's like
Terracuda.
T-E-R. Like, what the fuck,
dude? Oh, this is so good. This is so good. I can't wait to see my collection in like 2 years from now when I have all these.
When you go under S and it's just like 40 shark movies.
Ah, it's getting so bad.
Like, dude, a Sharktopus fighting a Terracuda. Like, what?
Dude, Sharktopus was so fucking funny. Have you guys seen that movie?
Just wait till they do Sharktopus versus Sharknado.
Oh, dude, Sharktopus had some of the funniest kills in it, man. Just so outrageous. I honestly can't wait for this. So good.
Yeah. So after that,
JP not that impressed. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not huge into these. I miss old Sci-Fi. The Sci-Fi used to actually have, put a little heart into their original movies.
Not Cube 2.
Oh.
No
comment, JP.
I didn't hear what you said. Oh, Cube 2? No, yeah. That was around when they stopped putting heart into their movies.
It was so bad.
I'm talking about the ones from the late 90s, early 2000s. But anyway, World War Z 2 is happening. Brad Pitt is signed on, and the writer or somebody is or the director is Juan Bayona, the guy who directed The Orphanage.
Huh. That movie's underrated, I think.
World War Z?
No, The Orphanage.
I liked it. I thought it was a bit overrated, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've heard everybody talk about that one.
We've talked about it before, but
yeah.
I'm kind of like right in the middle. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not trying to just say that just because, but I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I thought it was decent, but
I have to rewatch it again.
Yeah. So World War Z, I actually didn't mind it too much. I thought it was okay.
Mm-hmm. I haven't watched it, so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
That's what I said.
And
I think that happens.
I guess that's
a
plus. I guess that's a plus.
I think that happens a lot with movies. Like, I thought that new Tom Cruise movie was going to be like complete crap, and everyone's been saying like it's actually not that bad. that Edge of Tomorrow movie. Yeah.
I mean, with World War Z though, like I remember, when I first heard about it, and then I was like, okay, whatever, big budget.
It had such a terrible production.
Yeah, big budget fucking zombie film. Like, okay, whatever. And then I heard Brad Pitt was in it. I actually started laughing out loud, like hysterically. I was like, what? Like, what the fuck is going on here? And honestly, it wasn't terrible, in my opinion, but it had
some cool sequences, dude.
I think other people liked it more than I did. I mean, I didn't like hate the movie at all. Like, I don't know where I'm kind of like right in the middle on this one. I thought there was actually some pretty cool sequences. I thought actually the way the zombies were getting over the wall in that film, I think was it in Israel? I think that's where they were.
One of my issues with it is just how everything doesn't feel like. Well, obviously it's so CGI'd, but it's not just the look of the CGI. It really does feel like the horde doesn't feel like an organic thing. It just feels like a blob, like a mass. Like I don't know. It doesn't feel like individual. Like there's no individuality to the horde. So you can't pick through and see like all these awesome zombies. It's just like a blur of like flesh and CG.
Were those zombies? Yeah, I was gonna say, were they CGI? Or were they like actual extras? Like,
I mean,
no, I mean, when they were building like basically the ladder of zombies to get over the wall and stuff, I thought that actually was kind of cool, even though it was all CGI and stuff. But
yeah,
I don't know. It was decent, but to be honest, I think one of my biggest problems with that film is how fucking long it was.
Yeah, they did not need to be that long.
No, it was so long.
You know how Brad Pitt gets like he's not sure if he got bit, or so he like runs up to the bridge. Like I thought that was pretty interesting. I haven't seen that done in a zombie film before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not like I didn't love it or anything. I just thought it was a lot better than I expected.
Yeah.
So there's our brief review of World War Z. The next bit of news, I didn't know whether to include this or not, but I figured I would since it's like sci-fi, and I actually like this movie and the series a bit. But it's like straight up sci-fi. It's not really horror. But Stargate is being remade with a new trilogy planned. You can actually get that. There's a huge press release over at dailydead.com. And this has like, all their like how they're excited for it, and they love the series so much, and they're going to do this and do that. You can read that. I'm not going to go into it because it's not really horror, but I just thought I'd throw that out there.
What is with these predestined trilogies?
We just talked about it a second ago. I have no idea.
I know, like honestly, like what the fuck, man?
Because it so just sucks. Because if something doesn't go right, then we don't get the fucking trilogy we're promised.
That's what I'm saying. It's so far fetched. It's fucking stupid. Just make a film, and if it does decent or well or whatever, make a sequel.
I'm kind of not with it. If you actually have a story that is set in a trilogy format, I love the idea of from Back to the Future. From the very beginning, that thing looks like a damn trilogy. Like everything connects and stuff. Like if you're gonna do it that way, definitely do it. But you say you're gonna do a trilogy, and then you make a standalone film. Mm-hmm. Like it can work by itself without any future films created. And that's what I don't like, because it's like, well, then don't say you got a planned trilogy if you're gonna write it for a standalone film, and possibly we can do more sequels.
Yeah, that's why. That was a good example what you said with Back to the Future. I think if filmmakers are wanting to do a trilogy, they should watch Back to the Future, because I in my
trilogy
opinion,
ever.
I think it's the greatest trilogy ever, and I think it's some of the smartest script writing that I've seen almost ever. The way they piece especially the first two movies, the way they piece them together, it's so brilliant.
Back to the Future is literally in my top 5 favorite films of all time.
Yeah.
Now, seriously, mark this. For all you people out there listening right now, we're all 100% agreeing on this. Back to the Future is not only my favorite trilogy, but I think it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
I have tried. I have watched
love
this
the
trilogy.
third film too. Some people don't like it. I think it's perfect.
It's grown on me a lot since I first watched it.
See, the thing with the third film is I'm a massive Western fan, so I love that setting. I think it's fucking awesome.
It makes sense too. That seems where it should at.
Yeah, but I have honestly watched that trilogy over and over again, trying to find mistakes, like continuity. I still
learn stuff watching it,
and like dates issues, and because they're time traveling, like there's bound to be some type of error somewhere. I can't find one, I mean, there might be, but I can't
Well,
find.
there's a
myself,
lot
and I
of
think,
people smarter than me out there who probably realize something's wrong. But I mean, I'm with you. Like, I don't like. It's not super obvious if there's stuff wrong with it.
No,
It's,
there
And,
is
and
nothing
20
obvious.
and 2015 is next year, so if the Cubs don't win the World Series, I'm gonna fucking raise some hell.
I don't think the Cubs are winning the World Series.
Thank you, Moodz, for crushing my dreams, even though it's already been a rough day in Chicago as it is
How's those
sports-wise.
Hawks?
Oh,
JP,
yeah.
your fucking team was out 2 months ago, so kiss my white ass.
Well, hockey's not really my sport, but if you want to talk football, well,
Don't even
Won't
don't
even
e-
get
don't
into
e-
that.
Don't
Won't
even
even
start,
get
JP. I don't.
Anyway, trilogy plan for Stargate. You guys like Stargate, the original film.
I haven't watched them.
I thought it was okay. It's not quite my thing, but
man. It's like I don't know. I watched like the first season of SG1, and it totally looked like something that I wouldn't like, and I really liked it. So I'm down to check out more Stargate. It's kind of interesting to me. After that, this is a little update on Friday the 13th, the next film. I don't know what it is, but so it was originally going to be slated for March of 2015. That date has now been pushed back to November 13th of 2015, which I believe is also Friday the 13th.
Ooh, 3 days before my 21st birthday.
So
Nice.
I actually like this idea because I'd seen somebody else say this, but October is going to feel just a little bit longer with Friday the 13th being released, right outside of October. So it's kind of going to make this, the month that we all love so much even seem like it's lasting a little bit longer with a new Friday the 13th film in the theater. Also, Bloody Disgusting says, David Bruckner, who did the VHS segment, is still in talks to do the film, but they also say it will not be found footage. It will not be a found footage reboot, is what they say.
Oh, that's a good thing.
But I haven't seen anybody else report on that, so maybe they have some kind of inside stuff that they're not like, that nobody else knows about. But I mean, that's what everybody's complaining about, no found footage. So that's a step in the right direction if you're listening to the masses.
How's that a complaint? Oh, that it is found footage.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought you said it's a complaint that it's
like,
not found footage.
No.
to be honest, that's how I understood what he just said there too.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, I mean, it's obviously it's not a complaint. I mean, if it's not found footage, then
Yeah, it's a good thing.
we're jumping for the skies right now.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you guys think? Like, from pushback from March to November, you think that's a good thing?
Well, I mean, it could be good and bad.
It would have been nice in October, but I guess no.
Yeah, but
first.
October is like filled with those like heavy hitter mainstream like Paranormal Activities and stuff like Insidiouses and or like Conjurings or whatever's planned for October.
But you don't think the Friday the 13th is one of those films?
No, it's like not anymore. Like The Conjuring 2, if that comes out October 15, like that's gonna just blow. Like you'd want to stay clear of that blast radius.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened if it's good?
Then you have it in November. And
Are you making a prejudgment of Conjuring 2?
Well, yeah, I am. I think it's gonna do freaking amazing because sequels like that always do. Look at Paranormal Activity 2, 3, and 4.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they would be able to run The Conjuring as a 4 or 5 film franchise. Maybe I'd be proved wrong, but
I don't know, man. There's a lot of stories that tell with those ghost paranormal and what the hell are they called? Parapsychologists.
I think that they can really make any of those into like big franchises. You just start doing some different shit.
But that's Paranormal Activity.
That's the thing, man. You get away from that original story and just kind of keep doing other little things. I think The Conjuring could be. Do I want The Conjuring to be like a huge franchise? I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
Why? Why not? If it's good, I want a huge franchise of The Conjuring.
But the first film is good, though.
I love franchises.
Would you want to see Cabin in the Woods too?
Yes, I would want to see Cabin in the Woods too, but in like a prequel, like I want to see some more of those things let loose on people, like.
But they can't be shitty CGI like they were.
Yeah,
Cabin in the Woods too, or Cabin in the Woods is like an amazing film.
It is an amazing film, and it's probably the best mainstream film since The Descent. We've had this conversation before, but that ending CGI kind of killed it for me, I have to say.
I didn't think it was too bad. I mean, it's a fucking giant.
No, the blood was bad.
You know what's really fucking weird? I actually rewatched that movie this week. It's
Really?
so weird that we're actually talking about that right now. Yeah, and I have the same opinions. You know, it's like I think the movie's pretty good. It's pretty fun, and then
the blood.
The CGI at the end is like, oh god, it's a big complaint. I'm not gonna lie. You know,
I don't really remember having a huge it's a bit. I haven't watched it since it came out, but I don't remember like having.
It's almost comical to me, to be honest.
It's a fucking comedy.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I get you.
You know,
but anyway, fucking Jason is gonna be on the big screen again. I cannot hold back my excitement.
We all know how you get a boner for Jason. So,
and you asked if that was a good or bad thing that it got pushed forward. I think it's a good thing. I
think it's a great thing.
If they spend more time on it, though.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I mean, but that's what they're probably doing. They probably think, well, we can't rush it out. Like we need to really iron this thing out. Let's just push the date back.
Well, that's the thing.
When did you say the TV show was going to come out? Did they not have a date for that?
No, it does not have a date, but I think they're in production. I don't know. That's interesting too. It could have something to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, all they can do, by pushing the date forward is work on it more. I mean, I think it's a plus. So let's do it right, man. Now, I do admit though, coming out in October would have been kind of cool. I know you guys have your thoughts on that, but whatever. To me, it doesn't really matter.
Well, this is also what I was thinking, bro. So check it. November's getting into winter. What if they're actually going to do the winter Friday the 13th? What if that's why they pushed it?
I don't know. I won't say anything until we get proof that may happen. That's just your speculation.
Well, it's just ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's what they're doing. I'm just saying, wouldn't
that have to cause a whole rewriting of the script if they were expecting to do it in March and then they're like,
not
let's do it in
really.
November.
I mean, you just change the setting. It has snow.
I don't think it's that easy. I think there'd be continuity issues down the line in the script if something takes place in the.
Oh, dude, you can iron that shit out in a month or two. They have so long right now.
I'm just playing the devil's advocate.
Yeah, I get you, but no, I mean, I
just worry about. To be honest, I think the winter idea is actually kind of cool, but at the same time, it brings us back to the the Wrong Turn franchise, and I always kind of like that setting, but it does stick out in the franchise. And the more I watch that film, it's actually really not that great. But
Part 4,
yeah. And wrong.
It's not. I never thought it was great to begin with. I thought it was way better than Part 3. It was okay. I liked it. I thought it was okay enough.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that I actually really like the setting of it though. I think the setting was kind of cool, but I think it does really, really stick out in the franchise because I can't see the
kind of what you want
franchise
though, right?
Ever having that setting again. So I guess it could be good and bad, right?
All I know is no matter what, as long as they don't send him to space or have him body hopping, it's gonna be Jason killing motherfuckers on the big screen, guys.
Well,
isn't that what every Friday the 13th film is? It's Jason killing motherfuckers.
I saw the last Friday the 13th upscaled on IMAX, and it was fucking epic. They upscaled it.
That opening in the remake of Friday the 13th is one of the best scenes in the entire series, and then it's just never reaches that height again after the opening. And that's what sucks about the remake.
25 minutes before the credits roll in that film. It's fucking unheard of, man. It's crazy.
And that's some of the best Friday the 13th we've ever seen, in my opinion, that first 25 minutes.
It's definitely the best part of the film, for sure. But I mean, why not have the snowy setting? I mean, shit, dude. We've had the summer setting multiple times. Obviously, we've had
Manhattan.
We've taken it to Manhattan. We've been in space. We've had body jumping Jason, which I guess the setting doesn't really matter for that. But why not?
The setting was awesome in Jason Goes to Hell, man. I love the setting in Jason Goes to Hell. The diner when he fucking bashes a woman's face.
Man,
I
you
love
really love Jason Goes to Hell, man. You talking about
I
this
love them
last
all, dude.
2 weeks?
I love them all. It's my favorite franchise. Friday the 13th is just. I love every one of them.
Really,
like
I haven't
Jason
noticed.
X, I don't like love, but I still have a love for it.
That face bashing scene in that movie always makes me laugh.
I'm just so happy that it's even being talked about. Who knows if we'll actually get this film ever?
Yeah.
But as long as it's being talked about, is better than it not being talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, after that, Singori, what the hell's her name? Singori Weaver. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver. What the hell ever.
Dude, just say suck my horny wiener.
Okay. She was interviewed, and she says that there's an interview. I'm not going to read through the interview, but she said she was open to doing an Alien 5. Just
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't be Star Wars, please.
Star Wars?
Do we really need Alien 5?
Sure, why not? I'm always down for a sequel, dude.
But it's been fucking how long did Alien 3 since Alien 3 came out?
Well, what about Alien 4?
Resurrection.
Fuck Resurrection.
I've never even seen it. I'm not a huge fan of the Alien franchise. I like Alien.
Yes, we all know, JP. You've been wanting to do an Alien show since day one.
Yeah, because I have the damn box set that I never watched. So after that, this is kind of like the first. I don't know if we've done video game news before, but Mortal Kombat 10 has been announced, and there's a trailer, and it looks pretty awesome.
I think I just got announced today, right?
Yeah, it's pretty decent. And man, dude, I always get so excited to play Mortal Kombat, and then I play it for 2 weeks, and I'm like, it's just not the same.
The last game was good, though.
It was.
You could play as Freddy. It was fucking awesome.
The story mode was so good
awesome.
in the last game. I loved it.
Yeah, and you could play as Freddy.
Yeah, which it's Jackie Earl Haley Freddy, so I wasn't too stoked about that.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. Not cool.
Because it's a Warner Brothers property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game.
Yeah, it makes
So
sense.
yeah. So yeah, check out the trailer. It's awesome looking.
Yeah.
After that, this is kind of some DVD releases. Slaughter Hotel from 1971 is being put out by Rare Video USA, and it's an Italian horror film.
Was that the movie Scotty was talking about today, Moodz, that he watched and he said it was fucking horrendously bad? Do you read that on Facebook?
No, I think he was talking about Deathbed.
Deathbed, that's right.
So this one comes out in September on Blu-ray and DVD.
Cool. That's actually very cool.
And then Wolf Creek 2 will be available on Blu-ray and DVD June 24th. So
We were just talking about that before the cast. It's $8.99 on Amazon right now.
Really?
Holy
On
shit.
Blu-ray?
No, DVD.
Oh,
No.
I don't really. I don't buy.
We're like, really? Oh.
Yeah, I don't really buy new films on DVD anymore. If it's new, I usually go for the blue.
Hey, I'll pick it up for $1.50. I know I'll see it there.
Oculus comes out August 5th from 20th Century Fox on Blu-ray and DVD.
I'm very curious about that movie. I did not get a chance to see it in theaters, but I thought Absenthia, is that how you pronounce the music, is pretty good.
Absentia, yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, Oculus I've kind of been curious about too. So after that, finally, Scream Factory, some Scream Factory stuff. 1972 and 1973's Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror will be coming out on a 2-disc. I don't know if it's 2-disc, but it's a double feature. Blu-ray.
I highly doubt it's going to be double.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be
Yeah,
double.
probably not. I mean, they might do the DVD combo though. You know?
Yeah, probably.
And Vault of Horror will actually be presented in its uncut format. So that's pretty cool. The DVD that was released here was not uncut.
I'm really curious to know what was cut out of that.
It
movie.
was. I hear it's very minor stuff, but still, cut. It's kind of cool.
I'll do that for Stepfather and Prom Night.
I'm so excited. Moodz actually called this one a while ago. He said, that he bets they release those two films in a double feature. So I actually was about to pick them up on the DVD for $7 or so, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna hold off. Maybe Moodz is right. I'm glad I did that because now Never seen them, but I will when they get released on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. I actually called one for once.
Yeah, and then 1985's The Doctor and the Devils. This is I don't know anything about this film. Mel Brooks is in it.
If it's the same film I looked up, I think Timothy Dalton's in it. He was actually a 2-time Bond.
Yeah, he's
like
in it.
It's like a mid-'80s film, and I've never seen it, so I don't really know much about it.
Excited about that one then, huh? Because
Totally,
you kind of like the ones that you haven't seen.
Yeah, I love when they release a film that I've never seen.
So they actually announced this on the Killer POV podcast, which I've actually heard Scream Factory on there before, and they usually drop a lot of nuggets on there. This time they didn't really drop too much, but I highly recommend that podcast. It's really good. It's from people like in the industry, people that write for Fangoria and Fairnet and stuff. They're the ones doing the podcast, so it's really professional and shit. But anyway, they did say something that I found interesting that I haven't heard anybody talk about because it's very brief. They mention it. They said when they went to do the Halloween box set, they talked to Miramax, and they Dimension Miramax, and tried to get the rights to the later Halloween films. I think there's 3 of them, 6, 7, and 8, I believe.
Yep.
So when they did that, they actually was trying to get the rights to a different I assume franchise, because they said for a box set they have planned for later, and they ended up getting the Halloween rights while doing that. So there's another box set probably planned that is those Miramax Dimension films. So I'm thinking probably Hellraiser, right?
Or Children of the Corn.
Yeah, but I mean Hellraiser.
I think it would more likely
a little step up from.
I know, but I'm just saying,
Yeah,
JB, it could happen.
I would probably go out on a limb and say, yeah, Hellraiser would be the one.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going, they want to go big here. I mean, you got like 9 films,
and they're all shit
do it up properly.
First 4.
But okay, let me.
I would love to see this box set too. Like all the movies come
in a cube.
No, in a huge ass like pinhead. Well, I guess in a cube too would actually make more sense, because if you wanted all the Blu-rays to be like in their own cases and stuff, that would make a lot more sense. Just have like this massive cube,
like the zombie head, but with Hellraiser with Pinhead.
Yeah, or like
that
that's what I was originally getting at. Just having all the films in Pinhead's head would be super cool. That would be a cool piece.
I don't know if I'm weird or something, but I don't like those kind of box sets. I don't like the ones that are like statues of things and stuff. I've never really liked those. The sphere thing is awesome. The cube thing I like, but if it's like a bust or like a head or a sculpture or something, I never like those for some reason.
It always fetch money down the line, so.
Yeah, that I don't, that's something else. But I mean,
I got $250 for that fucking Walking Dead.
So
crazy. Fuck.
Obviously, you're gonna go for Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3. Like those are the only kind of reasons to buy the box set. 4 would kind of be interesting if they could get a uncut work. They can take that work print and make like a legit edition of that, because that film's known as having so much troubled production. And the work print, I guess, is like a completely different film. But also, I find it interesting. I would find it interesting if they actually did some features on some of the. I think the features could be more interesting than the films themselves on the later films. They kind of have such an interesting production history, that they weren't Hellraiser films, and I think they need to be talked about.
So why not just do a,
documentary,
like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, but with Hellraiser?
Like a documentary?
Like Never Sleeps Again and Crystal Lake Memories.
Well, I've been saying they should do that, but I mean, I'm just saying if you get some, behind the scenes stuff, it's, second best to a straight up documentary. But I would also say that it's possible that maybe a Phantasm box set or something. I don't know exactly what the terms are.
But those are MGM though.
Well, Anchor Bay has the rights to them.
Yeah, they've got the rights to what?
They have the distribution rights.
Yeah, I think having a documentary on the Hellraiser series would maybe kind of puts, or shed some light on some of the films, and maybe they might be a little more enjoyable after watching
Yeah,
them.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like the documentary would be better than the actual films, but I think they're interesting. I think the Hellraiser sequels are interesting. Like the films kind of suck, but the like backstories and stuff is pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So there's actually a little tiny bit more news, and that is, I don't know if you guys seen this. I haven't heard like anybody talk about it. It kind of hit me by surprise, but Scream Factory is doing something really cool this summer.
Yeah, is that the 6 movies on sale, and then they're showing some online too?
Yeah, so they got this whole like planned thing. Obviously, they're doing their Summer of Fear where they're releasing tons of stuff this summer, but they also have this drive-in theater experience. And basically, for 3 Fridays in June, you go to summeroffear.com, and Scream Factory will be showing on like Friday nights. They'll be screening like films like Assault on
13, Night of the Demons, and Witchboard, right, JP?
Yeah, and it's going to be presented by John Carpenter, and then Kevin Tenney's going to present his 2 films, and you'll be able to like chat along in like the little chat, talking to other people about the films and stuff. This sounds awesome, and they're going to be like cut in between as like like old coming attractions and vintage refreshment ads and stuff. And, it sounds really cool. I like that they're trying to do something a little different and like really, going out there and making everything they can out of the films that they currently like hold.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So, and it's free, I guess.
Yeah.
You just check them out. So also along with that, they're having these 6-pack sales throughout the month. Weekly deals of 6 selected Scream Factory releases will be offered, and they'll be at their lowest price points ever. I actually just ordered, what was it? The Beast Within and I forget the other one.
I think
Destruction or something.
I think the collector's editions are like $18.49, and the Beast Within and the non-collector editions are like $12, $11.49.
Yeah, it's like $11.99, and for some reason there was free shipping. So I got
cheap, man.
I got those 2 films for $20-some with free shipping, which was great. And also, not only are they doing that, they're also throwing in like 6 free like drink coasters with like Scream Factory films like logos and stuff on them while supplies last, of course.
Gnarly.
And also, they're doing something even cooler: brand new permanent reprices. So Dark Angel, Deadly Blessing, Death Valley, Ninja 3, Q-Wing Serpent, Swamp Thing, Terror Vision, Video Dead, X-Ray, The Vampire Lovers, Incredibly Melting Man, The Island, The Nest, The Funhouse, all will be permanently lowered prices. So now if you guys haven't got those, which is a couple in there that I haven't got, like Ninja 3, they're permanently at a lower price, and they're staying that way on Scream Factory's website. I think Ninja 3 was like $15, which is awesome because it's normally like $22.
Yeah, it's got to be like one of the highest priced non-collector's editions.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's weird.
That's why I put off getting it so long. And yeah, I'm definitely going to pick that one up. And, this is like, once again, guys, Scream Factory is just
the best,
doing stuff that is like so above and beyond like companies like Anchor Bay, current day Anchor Bay, and, just anybody who's releasing, even Arrow. Like, I know you guys love Arrow, and a lot of you guys over in the UK love Arrow. I personally have no interest in Arrow, just because I don't buy stuff that's region 2. I want stuff that's region 1. I live in, if I have a fucking Blu-ray player up the neighbor's house, I don't want to have to take mine up there to play shit.
I get that, but like if I don't know if anyone's gonna release the stuff. People on the stairs.
But you always say that. You always say, like, I don't think people are going to release this stuff. But then we get stuff released like...
Who's going to release Squirm?
Who's not? Like, anybody. Like, everything eventually get... Whoever thought that freaking Deadly Blessing or, like, the Ninja 3 would hit Blu-ray? Nobody in the world would say, like, Ninja 3 is going to get a Blu-ray release.
Or Death.
Like, who would release that? Well, Scream Factory released it. Like... They seek out and get anything. Anything has potential to be released.
Mm-hmm.
Arrow's kind of a frustrating company because their first releases were all region free, and and now they're not, which I don't really
I
understand
think
why they
it's a
did that.
legal thing.
Yeah, it could be. It probably most likely is.
Because why wouldn't they want to sell more to people? You know?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't really care because I have a region-free Blu-ray player. But I mean, I understand where you guys are coming from, like importing, and it does suck though. I mean,
So much money.
It is the conversion rate right now sucks for both me and Jeremy. Like, I mean,
yeah,
like-
I'm
like
just
our
not down
fucking
with the
dollar's
price
terrible.
and then the region locked stuff. It's just too much to where it becomes unworth it to me.
yeah, I'm
Honestly,
kind of.
this-
There's just like I gotta say though, like some of the recent announcements by Arrow Films, like their steelbooks that are coming out, pretty fucking cool, man.
Yeah, $1 is 0.60 pounds.
Yeah,
So you're paying 40 cents more per US dollar for 1 pound. I don't even want to know what it is for Canadian.
it was like I think we're paying like $1.55 for a pound or something like that.
1 Canadian dollar equals 0.55 British pounds.
Math class.
Yeah, $1.55 for 1 pound. It's fucking terrible. But I mean, I gotta admit though, like some of the recent steelbooks though, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I pretty much have to grab that, man. It's fucking
I just
awesome.
absolutely. When I say I have no interest, the closest I've ever had to having interest was Texas Chainsaw 2, and I just don't like doing it. I'm kind of like feel like sometimes I almost feel like if I would start buying them, I would have to buy like every cool thing that I saw, and I don't even want to start. Like I'll buy Scream Factories, they're US, region free or region 1 rather, and I'll just stick with that. And they kind of cross over. There's some same releases out there.
It's the exact same. It's the exact same thing that like I've had a lot of people from the UK even said like, what the fuck is with Scream Factory not being all region and stuff, and
it has to be.
I guess it works. I guess it works both ways, right? So
I don't even have that many imports in my collection. Like I have like the Possession, which of course is getting a Region 1 awesome release, but I'm not going to spend fucking $40 on it.
But
well, that's
what I'm saying.
That's
like,
the Digibook. Have you seen
64?
The Mondo Vision, like the full fucking pack? Oh, dude,
it's $64.
It's huge. It's like a massive set, man. It's like so cool. I just saw Tom show it.
Yeah, did you order it, Moodz, or no?
No, I'm gonna order it next pay period.
Yeah,
I spent way too much money, and I was like, I can't do that right now.
Then I have like the Society. Like I only really have like 2 imports.
Yeah, but
so really quickly to wrap this news segment up, I also found out that Scream Factory actually can release Universal titles like Christine,
Candyman,
like Christine, but Universal doesn't allow people to release their stuff and add special features because they don't want to hire legal teams to monitor what they're putting on the disc.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, and I'm like,
yeah.
Fuck. That
They're
would
like,
suck.
they don't see a point to putting their Scream Factory stamp on something if they can only release the film and not do like a badass collector's edition of Christine or something. So instead, shady ass companies like Twilight Times roll in there and they're like, "Fuck, we'll release the Blu-ray and make it limited and this and that," and it's fucking.
JP's still salty on Twilight Times.
It's not salty. It literally is shady. It's just shady. I'm not mad that I don't have it. I don't want it. I would not pay $20
it's $30
purely for resale value. I would, but I'm saying like I wouldn't pay $10 to have it in my collection because I don't want their shit in my collection because I think it's the shady. I would not. It'd be hypocrite for me to do that. I would not take that stuff, dude.
JP, you got crazy morals.
I do. I don't. I find it shady, and I'm not going to deal with shady people.
Mm.
I'm not going to deal with shady people.
But I mean, it does kind of suck though. If you're going to spend, $30 on a film and stuff, I think that getting some special features would be pretty good, except for like a fucking theatrical trailer.
There's a lot of special features on my used cars Blu-ray.
Extra money on limited. Your special feature is it being limited. That's your special feature.
No, on my used car Blu-ray. My used cars Blu-ray. There's actually like a shit ton of special features.
I mean, is that put out by Universal?
Let me grab it one second.
Is that a Universal film?
I would probably say no, that it isn't, but who knows, actually.
On my used cars Blu-ray, you got an isolated score track.
Is it Universal?
No, it's Columbia.
Okay, well then that's why.
That's probably exactly why. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Huh.
that wraps up the news, guys.
Alrighty, so yeah, wow, news. That was fun. So I guess we'll get into mood swings here, and I'll start off with some fucking recent, well, not recent, but to be released stuff, and I guess this would be tomorrow since we're recording this on a Monday. Of course, we all know that tomorrow is Scream Factory release of Ravenous.
Yes.
And Jeremy informed me right before the show that Ravenous is not getting the greatest reviews transfer-wise, but at the same time, that's what I was hearing about Nosferatu, and I explained to Jeremy before, I think it's because there's like 2 scenes in that film that kind of do dip in quality quite a bit, but the rest of the film I thought looked brilliant.
But the audio track is supposed to be like fucking fantastic. Like,
yeah,
amazing.
So the audio is good, which is cool because that's a film that would, you need some good audio in that one. It doesn't matter. I'll have it tomorrow, so I'll let you guys know exactly.
Yeah, you gotta let me know before I'm gonna buy it anyway because that movie's totally underrated, fucking amazing.
Yeah, so damn cool that they're releasing Ravenous.
Yeah,
so awesome. For some other releases that we got coming out here, if anyone's interested, we got season 6 of True Blood on Blu-ray. And is that the final season?
I hope so.
No, the final season is yet to premiere. I think it's just about the premiere.
Okay.
How's that show still going on?
I even know that.
How's that show still going on?
It's so crazy. I only ever watched the first 2 seasons, and I have no idea like what the hell's up with that show anymore.
I think I own like one to three, 1, 2, or 3. I think I own 2, but I might own 3 seasons of it. I've still yet to crack it open.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there's another film called Cowboys vs. Zombies that's coming out. Now, this actually did kind of intrigue me.
I think that's seen at a Wal-mart.
Because I was just having this conversation with my buddy Dylan. And big shout out to Dylan if he's listening. Fuck, man, we were talking about how there's not enough, Are you going
to say Western horror films?
There really
isn't. Because me and you have had that conversation at least like 17 times.
Well, I know we have, but it got brought up between the two of us, and I was like, because he wanted to know if I could recommend a bunch to him, and I was like, well, there's a couple.
Yeah, there's only a couple.
I don't think there's enough to qualify it as being a bunch.
Yeah, you can watch. Jesse James versus Frankenstein.
Burley's dead.
Yeah, and like there is a few, and then we just got kind of bullshitting about it. I'm like, yeah, I know, man. And I even brought up UJP. I said, man, we've had this conversation a million times. It needs to be more. So who knows? I mean, this movie's probably pure shit. It doesn't look very good from the cover, but I mean, at least it's in that subgenre. I don't know. Who knows?
They seem like they could be made like there's so many ideas you can do.
Is it just me? Am I like the only person that wants to see a slasher film based in the Wild West?
Huh, that's interesting. How has that not been done? That's kind of interesting.
I know. I thought about this a long time ago.
Ghost Town. Like, did you talk about Ghost Town?
I've seen Ghost Town when I was a little kid. It's been so long.
Yeah.
I used to have it on a dubbed VHS with Elm Street 4.
Nice. Okay, so there's another film coming out called Alpha Alert. I don't know anything about this one. It does not look very good.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it does. I thought this was interesting, man. The Walking Dead first 3 seasons are being released together.
Jesus
I
Christ.
saw that.
on a Blu-ray. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But for anybody out there that's a huge Walking Dead fan and hasn't picked up the series yet,
I'm still on season 2. I need to catch up.
Another real bad one. Looks real bad. It's called Ghostlight. You got to see the cover for this. It's just
I seen
horrible.
one called Ghost. What the hell was it called? It was like I think it has like Danny Trejo. Ghostquake.
Oh yeah. I saw that the other day too.
What the F, dude?
Yeah. Then we got another one called Blood Widow. I guess it's more like a slasher type film, but just by the cover, kind of looks cool actually. I gotta say. But one of the releases that's coming out this Tuesday that has me fucking, super ecstatic is the the Video Nasties set that's coming out from Severin.
I did see that.
Finally being released here in Region 1. This originally came out in the UK. Then Australia had a release, I believe, late last year, whatever, or early this year. And now we're finally getting a release here for the Video Nasties. And I just never picked it up because I always knew that somebody would pick this up in Region 1. And it was usually going for pretty good money over there and stuff. But I believe you can get it for about 20, 21 bucks or whatnot. So I'm definitely picking that one up.
I know how much you love your Video Nasties. So.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. I'm like obsessed with Video Nasties. I think it's super, super cool. Not quite horror, but RoboCop 2013 remake is coming out on Blu-ray and DVD this Tuesday. If anyone is interested, me personally, I am not interested. I
want to see the original RoboCop on Blu-ray. I've never seen that full film, but I remember it being like really gory and just thinking like, this is fucking cool, man. Because it's not like a horror film, but it's like gory. So like you don't really see that a whole lot.
Yeah, the 4K transfer of RoboCop's fucking phenomenal. It's totally uncut, wicked. Totally recommend getting that.
Yeah, that movie's good.
Yeah. Next up, we got Deathbed. Now, I think we heard a little bit of conversation.
Is this like a killer bed?
Don't watch it, Scotty.
If
Scotty says it's the worst film you've ever seen, then it's probably really bad because I totally respect Scotty's opinion.
If he says it's the worst film he's ever seen, then he hasn't seen Beneath the Mississippi.
But to be honest, though, like that just intrigues me that he's talking, you know,
JP,
you still haven't watched Beneath the Mississippi.
JP, since I wasn't here last week, I watched Beneath the Mississippi.
And is that going to be in?
No, I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm just going to say yes.
Well, then talk about it right now, really quickly.
The movie is fucking horrendous. It's
is
fucking
it
bad.
One of the worst movies you've ever seen?
Yes, it's worse than Bloody Homecoming.
Yes,
it's bad. It's fucking terrible.
Nice.
Yeah, I missed you during my Carrie remake talk. I was like, before the show started, I was like, all right, Jeremy's seen Carrie remake. This should be an interesting conversation.
It fucking sucks, that movie. It's bad.
So anyway, go ahead, man.
All right. So next up, we got Breeding Farm from Troma. So all my Troma lovers out there, brand new release. I don't know anything about this film, but I have it on the radar. I'm definitely going to pick it up. Now, I thought this was interesting. Crystal Lake Memories, the documentary, is coming out, the DVD release.
Wait. When they put out the Blu-ray, they was like, you know, we're not going to do a Blu-ray DVD release because, let's face it, like everybody wants Blu-ray. So now they're like, well, maybe we should have put out a DVD release too.
Well, it's interesting because it was a DVD Blu-ray combo pack, but now they're just releasing this just as a DVD release. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
And again from Troma, we've got the Blu-ray release of Bloodsucking Freaks.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I actually seen that.
That movie's fucking awesome too. It's good.
Yeah, it's awesome. I just recently
picked up about it last week.
Yeah, because I picked up the 88 Films release of it because I couldn't fucking wait. You know, me being impatient. And I to be honest, I just wanted to grab an 88 Films release, and I was really contemplating on grabbing Dolls, but I think Dolls is eventually going to get released by Scream Factory, so I'm like, fuck it. Since I'm on a roll of calling things, I bet you that comes out sometime next year.
So, actually, you know what's crazy? Just a quick little diversion thing. When I did my top 10 wish list of Scream Factory films, one of the ones on there that I was like, this is probably never going to be released. I know it, you know, it'll never get released, but I will want Halloween 6, the producer's cut. Like, it actually happened. How cool is that?
That is awesome.
Because that was like one of the ones on there that like I thought was least likely.
I'm still hoping for People Under the Stairs, man.
That'll happen. That has to happen. It's MGM.
And a collector's edition. Oh man. I can see the cover art now. If they put out Pumpkinhead 2, they had to put out People Under the Stairs.
I can't imagine People Under the Stairs not getting a Blu-ray release here.
They're probably holding that one in their back pocket when they need a nice tent pole.
Yeah, it just seems like a release that would totally get a release. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna do it for the new releases. So, but yeah, I don't know, some cool things coming out. I'm really, really stoked for Video Nasties. So
yeah,
everybody go out and pick up 2 copies. Support Severin. They're awesome, awesome company.
Better than Code Red. Sorry, I had something in my chest.
Oh,
Is
God.
that
God.
is that Mood Swings time?
Yeah. So now we're into Mood Swings. I guess that was kind of the beginning of Mood Swings, but yeah.
Question.
So into the question of last week. The question of
And
last
this will
week.
be the last one, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on that note, yeah, there's going to be no question this week, obviously, because I don't expect people to comment and they'll read them out 3 months later. That's just stupid. But yeah,
Okay,
so
since it's so stupid, let's do it.
last week's question, it sucked that Jeremy wasn't on the show last week because I know that he would have lost his shit over this one. And then when I told him what it was,
PG-13 horror films, man, that is my biggest
There are
gripe.
so many good ones, though, man.
Okay, but there hasn't been a good one since the golden age before, the rating system totally got fucked over. I mean,
well,
think of like any good recent PG-13 horror movies besides Insidious.
okay,
like-
I actually have one on my list, but
All right.
I did give people the option if they couldn't come up with the actual PG-13 rating. And Jeremy, do you know when they changed the rating to PG-13? Was it 83 or 84 or something like that when they
Yeah, it was
incorporated
like-
PG-13?
Yeah, I think it was Indiana Jones was the first PG-13. One of the
Okay.
Indiana Jones was the first PG-13.
Okay, so like
Films.
right in, kind of early to mid 80s or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave people the option if they can't come up PG-13s, go ahead and use PG films. Me personally, this week I did not cheat and use PG films. I actually came up with PG-13 films.
Man, I can't wait to see this list, man.
But it was
man.
intriguing. There's kind of a mixed blend here. People have some PG-13s, they got some PG ones on here, and I respect that. That's fine. I know it's hard to do, but
Nothing gets my piss boiled more than a good old PG-13 horror film.
all right. So getting into the top 5 list here, we got Movie Buff Mike top 5. Number 5, Tremors. Was Tremors actually was a PG-13 film?
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
it?
PG-13.
Okay. Number 4, Night of the Comet. Again, I'm not overly a big fan of the film, but whatever. Number 3 is The Monster Squad. Number 2 is Gremlins 2. And number 1 is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah. I think
Pretty
we'll be
awesome.
seeing that on everyone's list.
Yeah, to this day, I still can't believe it's actually PG-13 film.
Yeah.
It fucking blows my mind. But
Which one did you say?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, yeah.
Same with
Yeah.
Poltergeist, man. That is a PG film. Fucking scared the shit out of me the first time I watched that film.
I think
Yeah.
Poltergeist was one of those films that was right on the bubble, man. Like, if it
Yeah.
had been released like a year or two later, it would have been PG-13.
I think it would have been. I think it could have been an R, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Think
saying.
so?
Like,
Yeah,
hell yeah, dude.
That bathroom scene. If that film was made today and that bathroom scene was made in a film, it would get an R. There's no way that would be a
Poltergeist
PG-13.
wouldn't be an R right now, dude.
Yeah, no way. That would be an R.
The
Interesting.
parents are smoking weed and stuff, dude.
You can't say fuck, but you could have somebody's face fall out.
Dude,
That's
Poltergeist is
true.
like the prime example of just a film that snuck by the ratings board. Just like it's one that we got. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
man.
It's scored like one tally mark for us.
Such a fucking flawed system. Like I was watching a trailer
God.
for Clint Eastwood's new film. It's like, this seems like a pretty solid PG-13 film, and then I see the ending. It's like rated R for strong language. I go, are you fucking serious? They're gonna
Wow.
fucking release a movie rated R because it has strong language and nothing else. Just gets my piss boiling. It's such a flawed fucking system, man. Could have people
That's
getting
so
blown
good.
to shit. Sorry, you knew it was gonna happen, JP. You knew it was gonna
But I
happen.
mean,
It just pisses me off that people can get blown to shreds in fucking the Avengers, but you can't say fuck on the screen more than 2 times, even though the fucking teenagers use it in their everyday language anyway. Just because
Yeah,
my
I mean,
blood pissed to
what happened to
over.
freedom of speech, man? It's just a little bit
Oh.
of language, man.
Oh man, it nothing pisses me off more than that fucking rating system, man. It's bogus.
Okay, so Nigel Burrows, and I want to say this might be a first time commenter.
Possibly.
I don't know. Sometimes I forget. So if you aren't, I apologize. If you are, welcome on board. Number 5, Teen Wolf. Was Teen Wolf PG-13?
No, it's PG, I think.
Yeah, but Teen Wolf's an awesome movie. Not really that horror besides, werewolves, but, Teen Wolf's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. Number 4, The Hole, which I've yet to actually see.
Yeah, that's a new movie.
Yeah, I've yet to see that one.
I heard it's actually good from what
Yeah,
I've
is that a Joe Dante film?
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Dante's good at PG-13 horror, man.
Number 3, The Burbs. I never associate The Burbs with
Isn't that a Joe Dante film?
But
Yeah, if he has the Burbs on there, how the fuck can I not have Willy Wonka on my list?
The
Yeah.
Burbs is more of a horror film than Willy Wonka, dude. I have the Burbs
I would say it's a
in
little
my
bit.
horror collection.
Mhm.
I considered it a horror film when I was a kid. It was kind of creepy.
Okay, number 2, Little Monsters. Again,
I don't know.
Is that the Giants movie?
I think that's the one with
That's,
Fred Savage.
Fred Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And number 1, The Monster Squad. So that's cool.
Solid.
Paul Henderson. Number 5, The Orphanage, which we were just talking about like a minute ago. Number 4, Insidious. Number 3,
yeah.
Troll Hunter.
Yeah.
I didn't even
Yeah, see,
realize.
Jeremy,
That's
that's a modern one.
That's on my list.
I didn't even realize Troll Hunter was PG-13. That's insane. Number 2, Poltergeist, which we know as PG, and number 1 is Jaws, which we also know as PG-13 or PG, but probably most likely would have been PG-13.
No, it would have been R.
You think it would have been R?
Yeah.
Which one?
Jaws.
Jaws?
Oh, Jaws would probably cut a PG-13 still.
I don't think there's any language in that film, so that I can remember. But who do we got here? Dawn's Bombs. Number 5, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Number 4, Tremors. Number 3, Poltergeist. Number 2, The Ring. Man, The Ring actually was PG-13, wasn't it?
That's pretty crazy. That movie's scary. And
Yeah,
you know, there's another
that
modern-
movie is scary.
Jeremy, see? There's good PG-13 modern ones out there.
The film's overrated, but it is scary.
Yeah, it was on my top 10 overrated list, actually. It is overrated. I still like it.
Same with
And number 1, we got Jaws. Okay. You and your horror movies. Number 5, Critters 2. I think all the Critter films are actually PG-13. All
I
4 of
think
them.
so.
Number 4.
Isn't there
Killer-
tits in one of them?
There's tits in European Vacation twice, and that's PG-13.
Yeah, there's a bunch of films in the 80s that have tits that are PG-13. It's crazy, like comedy-wise and stuff.
It was like watching European Vacation.
Brief
It's
nudity.
like, no, it's not brief nudity in European Vacation, man.
So number 4, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Number 3, The Gate. Number 2, Big Trouble in Little China. He puts in brackets, not sure if it's a horror flick. Whatever, it has monsters in it. It qualifies.
Yeah.
And number 1, Tremors. And then we got Critter Buster.
This top 4.
No.
No.
Number 5, he's got The Gate. Number 4 is Disturbia. Disturbia
That's
was
a good one, man.
was
Yeah,
PG-13.
See, that's another modern
Yeah,
one.
I actually saw that in theaters. I was like, it wasn't that bad, to be completely honest.
It's a pretty good modern
like it,
take
dude.
on
for
Rear Window.
Shia
Yeah.
LaBeouf. For Shia LaBeouf, it's not.
What are you trying to say about Shia LaBeouf?
That he
You
took
better
that he
watch
took
out.
that he took too much mushrooms and it went to his head.
I fucking love Shia LaBeouf. Don't
Me
talk
too-
bad about him.
Me too. I thought he was fucking good in Nymphomaniac, but I think he took too much mushrooms and it went to his head.
Okay, so number 3, we got St. Francisville Experiment.
What the
I actually-
fuck is that?
I actually don't know what it is. I was not expecting to see any films on here I didn't know what they were. So, but okay. Number 2, Tremors, and number 1, Critters. And that's Critter
Obviously.
Buster.
You should have just put Critters 1 through 4.
Yeah. Then we got Emperor Corn Dog. Number 5, Critters.
Welcome back.
Yep. Number 4, Poltergeist. Number 3, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Number 2, which is Jaws. And number 1, which is It's Alive. Now, if It's Alive was made, post the MPAA new rating system, do you think it would have been PG-13 or R? Because that movie's PG.
Well, I think that every one of the ones pretty much that was said, like all the like actual horror films, would be PG-13 instead of PG.
Or maybe push an R on some of them.
Yeah,
I think-
and even
I
pushing
think-
R on some of them.
I think It's Alive would be PG-13. I think Jaws would also be PG-13, but
I think Jaws would be a hard PG-13.
Yeah, I agree. Because it's a really, really hard PG.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, so we got Dubby here. Dubby doubles number 5, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which seems to be a really, really popular choice.
Yeah, I've seen it. That's
number 4, It's Alive. Number 3, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Nice, good choice.
Yeah, it's a cool choice. Number 2, Jaws, and number 1, Psycho.
Psychos R.
Is Psycho R?
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of figured so.
On Laserdisc, it's R. On the Blu-ray, it's R. So
yeah,
yep.
I was that. That does make sense.
Yep.
And we got Movie Collector 666 Zach. Unfortunately, he couldn't actually think of 5 because he usually has a top 6 list.
That's crazy.
He couldn't even think of 5 this week. But
I had a hard time thinking of 5, but
so he's got number 4, which is the Monster Squad. Number 3, Jaws. Number 2, Night of the Comet. And number 1, Poltergeist. And then he apologizes that he couldn't come up with, his normal 6, let alone 5. But, yeah, cool choices, though.
Okay, so it's our turn?
And it is our turn. Jeremy, you want to start?
Sure. Okay, number 5, I have Gremlins. Number 4, I'm the only one that have this. Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, which is PG. Number 3, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Number 2, Troll Hunter. And number 1, Poltergeist. Have to have Poltergeist as number 1, man. I fucking love that
okay,
movie.
so really quickly, I did a little reading into the Psycho. It was actually rated, I don't know, they must have used different ratings back then, but it was when it was re-rated in 84, it got an R, but before that, it was like some weird rating I never heard of.
What is it? Is it
USA TV 14, that's the TV rating, and then USA Approved is the actual certificate of when it was released.
This was before the MPA. MPA didn't come out till 72. Don't correct me on that. I haven't done.
Yeah. So when it was re-rated, it was an R. It was probably just approved or X back then.
Yeah, I haven't done a research paper on the. Well, I have quite an interest in the MPA. If you guys haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Because I think
it's the most bullshit thing. Like
it's bogus.
Cinema.
Like you could say fuck on British TV, on like public TV, and not get in any trouble.
Is it my list?
I think. Wait, Moodz, you could swear on Canadian radio, correct? Like, I remember listening to your show and like your music that you played had swears in it.
As long as you're playing like on independent record or independent stations and stuff, you can.
Mm-hmm.
It's allowed. If you're playing like on the mainstream radio stations, no, you have to play the censored music. But like when I had my show for all those years, I played everything uncensored and stuff, which is college radio. You get away with it.
It's like Sirius.
Yeah, pretty much the exact same thing. The only thing was I couldn't actually curse on the radio myself. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, you could get away with it, but, I would just refrain from swearing at all. I mean... Sorry,
JP, I got off.
No, that's fine. So just really quickly, here's a couple of other PG-13 modern ones, Jeremy. Shark Night 3D. I actually like that film. I know a lot of people don't.
I hate
Grave
that.
Encounters.
Grave Encounters is not a PG-13 film.
It's not? Are you sure?
Yeah. There's no way that would pass as a PG-13 film.
Okay, Troll Hunter, The Last Exorcism, is that PG-13?
Yeah.
Devil.
Yep.
The Hole, obviously. The Fourth Kind, Drag Me to Hell was a really good one.
Yeah, Drag Me to Hell. Oh, man. Now that you
One
say
Missed
that...
Call was okay. Cloverfield, The Orphanage, The Messengers.
Drag Me to Hell might make my list, and I could tell by Mood's smile that it made his list.
1408.
Drag Me to Hell. Drag Me to Hell.
There are some good ones out there.
It's one of Sam Raimi's best.
Willard's a good one.
God, Drag Me to Hell's good.
Oh yeah, Willard was PG-13. Shit,
yeah,
totally.
Eight-Legged Freaks.
Eight-Legged.
You don't like eight-legged
totally.
Freaks, dude?
It's cheesy badness.
Oh, I actually haven't watched it in a long time, man.
my theme week's gonna be spiders.
I forgot Drag Me to Hell.
Okay, so my list, Drag Me to Hell. I kind of forgot about that one too. But number 5 is The Gate. Number 4 is Tremors. Number 3 is Insidious. Number 2 is Jaws, and number 1 is Gremlins. I'm kind of disappointed that every single one of those was on somebody else's list. Normally, I have in there.
Yeah, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. I was the only one.
Well,
besides Moodz, but he said all his films are PG-13, and that's PG. So,
Yeah, so I actually went with 5 PG-13 titles.
Yeah, if I
Not
would have took
6 or
more
7.
time, I should have did that. But
No.
I kind of hurried up my list like 10 minutes before the show. I pulled a Jeremy.
Damn
Yeah.
straight.
So my top 5 list. Number 5 is, of course, Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah, that
Great
movie's
one,
good.
man.
That movie's
Yeah.
good.
I thought that was I thought it was so interesting that no one had it on there, but
Yeah,
probably
that's
just got
a
overlooked.
heavy hitter.
Number 4, which is actually another film that nobody had on their list. And I was really, really fucking surprised that Jeremy didn't have, JP didn't have this on his, and that's The Willies.
Yeah, I like the Willies. That one's fun.
I have that on VHS somewhere. I still
That's
haven't
such a weird damn movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was just surprised that no one had it on there, being that, 80s type fucking anthology, whatever.
Yeah.
Number 3, The Gate.
Classic, dude.
Yeah. Number 2, The Monster Squad. And
Classic.
number 1
Jaws.
is, of course, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So, yeah, like I said, I actually had all PG-13 films, but yeah, so very surprised about Drag Me to Hell, but, I think it's a fun film, and that's a movie that gets a lot of mixed opinions.
So mixed, dude. That one,
So
it's
mixed.
like so many people think it's like the worst crap ever.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I thought it was genuinely kind of creepy when I seen it, and I loved the ending. Like I thought that whole movie was pretty damn good.
Yeah,
it was
for a PG-13, that movie definitely pushed the limits for PG-13.
Yeah, man, I'm totally down with Drag Me to Hell.
And that movie actually did pretty well with the critics too, surprisingly.
Dude, the witch in that film, the old bag, she was nasty.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
She's creepy.
And, I love witches, like the pumpkin head kind of witches, and she's kind of one of those. You know what I mean? Like old creepy ass witches like creep me out, man.
Fucking rights, man. Fucking rights. We need someone needs to bring up if it doesn't get brought up before me on body bags, we need to do a witch week.
Because,
yeah, that'd be fun.
Totally.
Speaking of body bags, you guys should follow the channel over there. We're actually starting something new where we're doing theme weeks every week now, so that's pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm pissed.
And we're taking turns picking them.
I could have fucking picked fucking Hospital Week. Damn it.
We did Hospital Week.
Oh yeah, we did. Was I around?
Yeah, we could have Hospital Week too because there's a million.
Yeah, I totally am down to do like 2s and stuff. Like, I know Steve will probably do a shot on video too.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm
down, dude.
That's the cool
I thought
thing.
This just brought like a whole new energy to that channel over there.
So if you guys have not checked out this week, if you're listening to it this week, the first week of June, it is Snake Week, which is actually really fucking hard.
I loved it, man. Critter is like always like feels like he's in my head or something. Like he has a lot of the same similar like things that I like. Like I'll see his top 5s will be like stuff that I'm all like.
Well, the thing is, I have quite a few Snake films, but I mean, I unfortunately reviewed Venom last year on my 81 series, and I think that's like a top-notch.
Is that the Tobe Hooper film?
No, it's directed. I can't remember who directed it, but it's from obviously 1981. But it's a really interesting, weird film with a really good cast too. It's like, I don't know, you got to see it, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is going to do it for our lists. Continuing along with Mood Swings, actually, getting into the Rue Morgue morbid fact and weird stat of the day. Getting some feedback on this, saying people like this, so why not keep going with it? I've been doing this very, very random. You can't get any more random than this. I'm literally grabbing old Rue Morgue magazines, opening up the Corners Report, and just picking out one.
Can I ask you a question about that real quick?
Yeah.
Is it when like in the actual magazine, is it a whole list of like a bunch of different like facts, or is it just one fact?
No, it's literally looks like this.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because I'm like, you're gonna run out of facts if it's one fact per issue.
Dude, I got like hundreds of these. It's ridiculous.
Okay, that's great.
So basically, what I've been doing is just kind of going with the first one that catches my eye. I'm not even reading all of them. I mean, I've read these in the past, but I thought this was pretty funny. This one kind of, I'm not really 100% sure who this is, but it'd be kind of cool if we knew who it was. But anyways, American painter Benjamin West his years were 1738 to 1820, once had a corpse exhumed, then crucified, just so he could study how the body hung on a cross.
Wow.
Isn't that a fucked up thing to do?
That would never fly today.
No, totally not. Totally
That
not.
wouldn't even fly back then, probably.
That's like a fucking twisted thing to do, man. I thought that was very intriguing. Yeah, so that's the the Room War Corners report of the day. It's just sick and twisted shit, man. It's pretty interesting, but
Yeah.
but that's I'm pretty much going to conclude Mood Swings. Don't really have a lot else to talk about unless Jeremy, you want to get into a little bit of conversation about how Code Red sucks fucking dick these days, and how they don't ship out things and how we don't get our products and
Yeah. Code Red is definitely a no-no because I moved some Blu-rays from when he was here in April of some Wasteland for some stuff, and he told me, okay, order these 3 titles. So I order 2 titles. I wait a few days, everything, nothing. Emailed the dude at Code Red, nothing. So I figured, okay, I'm gonna open PayPal claim, nothing. So I got my money back. But I know Moodz had a much different experience than I did.
Yeah, well, I waited, because I'm up here and I understand that sometimes customs is a shit and stuff, right? Of course, that's, what he was thinking. But anyways, after a month, I opened up a claim and I was like, this is bullshit, man. And I generally don't like to do this but the thing is, I've never had a problem in the past with getting my stuff within like 2 or 3 weeks. And it's been forever. And then he gets back to me and he basically kind of shoots me down.
Calls you a liar, right?
Yeah, he calls me a liar and stuff like that. I'm like, liar? I'm like, dude, I've never had an issue with you, man. Like, this is bullshit. I just didn't get my stuff, man. And, but anyways, it's still kind of ongoing. And he's saying that it's in the mail and stuff, so he's obviously just prolonging it. I still have not received it. It's been about 6 weeks now, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm totally not fucking getting this shit. And it pisses me off, too, because I actually bought one of those Nightmare DVD that was back up on the site, which was like $34, and it's like probably one of the most expensive DVDs I've ever bought in my life. And because we know how that shit goes for on the aftermarket, it's like ridiculous. But yeah, so it's getting fucking real messy, and it pisses me off too because Well, you
didn't close the PayPal claim, did you? Is this still up there?
No, it's still up there.
They'll give you your money back. PayPal's usually pretty good with that shit.
Yeah,
I wouldn't worry about it.
But the thing is, it's not even about the money. It's not
about the money to me either. You know that.
I wanted the fucking products that I ordered, and that sucks because now it's gonna be back to the same shit. I'm never gonna get Nightmare on DVD. Somebody needs to reissue that on fucking Blu-ray or something, man. Like, give me a break. Anyways,
well, didn't Scream Factory get a couple things off of Code Red before? It wasn't, or am I thinking of a different company? Who released Final Exam last?
Code Red did.
Yeah,
and
so they actually did have I think it was a 2-picture deal with Code Red.
Yeah.
So it is possible that that opens up again.
Evil Speak. And
yeah, that was the other one.
Final Exam. So if you look at the back of these Scream Factory releases, it actually has the Code Red logo, which is interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I like to support the companies, but
you don't need to be a douche.
This is
I know Dustin Mills had some problems with people from Canada. But it's like, at least you waited like fucking 4 weeks. You weren't being a douche or like expecting to get your shit like.
Oh, totally. And the thing is, I talked to Dustin quite a bit, and basically it came official when I received my copy of Her Name is Torment before I received my Blu-ray of Easter Casket, which was in the mail for like 8 weeks.
Never get it or no?
No, I never got it, which sucks. But he did resend me out another one, which was. It's shitty because these Blu-rays and stuff are limited. These are limited to like a certain amount of copies. And I felt really shitty. And I even told him, I said, if I ever by chance get that Blu-ray in the mail, I'll send it back to you because, that's just who I am. And I totally won't rip him off at all. And, it's just fucking unfortunate that, I have to deal with bullshit like that with Code Red because I like to support these independent companies and stuff. And very frustrating, but... Haven't had a real good bitch session on Mood Swings in a while. But, yeah, that is actually officially going to do it for Mood Swings. So I guess we'll be getting into Pick of the Weeks now. Who wants to go out first for Pick of Week?
I'll go.
Okay, JP.
Okay, so my pick of the week, we talked about it briefly last week. This was actually the only other thing besides Zombie 3 that I watched this week, and it
You
is
watched
the
Zombie
50.
3?
Yeah,
Didn't you watch Body Bags, you bitch? It was on
I
Body
reviewed it
Bags.
on Body Bags.
Zombie 3, man. What'd you think of Zombie 3?
Well, briefly, Zombie 3 was cool, man. I liked it. I gave it I think I gave it like a 6.5 out of 10 or something. I thought
Yeah.
it was pretty fun. It seemed to have a lot of like attack sequences that kept the pacing going really well, and Fulci's zombies. This one's kind of technically Fulci's Zombie 2, right? But I mean, he only directed it like he had like a stroke or something, right?
Yeah,
So
I
he
had some
couldn't
health
finish the
issues.
film.
It was Bruno Mattei that actually filmed. I think Fulci did like the beginning sequence in the film, and then Mattei did like the rest of the movie.
Well, I
It
heard
had to
that
be,
he
like-
filmed like 70 minutes worth of footage, but by the time it was released, it was like 40 minutes of
Yeah,
the
something like
footage was his.
Yeah,
Um,
I said the same thing in my review because I did that film in my '88 series, and I said, man, the sequences totally keep the pacing up, like awesome in that film. I think it's kind of underrated. I think it works. It's just a fun Italian. Fucking film.
It's a fun zombie, romp. It's just kind of, some good gore and stuff. It's, characters aren't like Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead style, zombie characters, which is, what you normally look for in a great zombie film. But it does have all the other things that make zombie films fun.
Mhm.
So, I liked it, So, yeah, my pick of the week, though, is the 50 best horror movies you've never seen. Now, this says that it has a 2010. Has a 2010 release on IMDb, but that might have been when it was like finished. It didn't get released until like last week on video on demand. I decided to rent it. I figured why not support people that are like shock2drop.com who are trying to get their little label off the ground, putting out some fun stuff. And I actually had a lot of fun with this. I mean, obviously it's my pick of the week. Now, this is targeted. You can tell that this is targeted for the mainstream, but they don't want to go full-blown mainstream, so they throw the hardcores a bone every once in a while. So you have stuff on here like Basket Case, which is obviously to hardcores, we know what Basket Case is. But
Martyrs
to
on that
mainstream,
list.
no, but Inside is.
Well, that's rightly deserved because that movie's fucking awesome.
Okay, so this makes sense to me because if I would take any of these 50 films and show them to anybody in my family that are not horror film fans, they would maybe have seen 2 or 3. There is I would say like the most mainstream title on there is Wrong Turn, which kind of just blew my mind. I was like, Wrong Turn? Why the hell is that on here? But other stuff is like stuff that I haven't seen on there too. There's like some Hammer stuff, and there's other like weird films that I've never heard of. There's stuff like Near Dark on there, of course, that everybody's heard of. But it's not only about, you're not watching this to get a big list of films that you've never heard of, even though that's what it's called. You're watching this to hear people in the industry who are horror fans talk about these films. You got Ryan Terrick from Shock 2 Drop who's in it, Rob Galuzio, who made the Psycho documentary, writer for FearNet, and there's just a bunch of fun people on there talking about, like Fangoria journalists and stuff, talking about, these fun films like Valentine, which I've actually never even knew anything about. It's kind of
Moodz just picked that up when he was here.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those ones one of those like late 90s like slashers that came post Scream that kind of got buried under all the other I Know What You Did Last Summer's and Urban Legends.
I think it actually came out right in the early 2000s.
Really? Yeah, so it's like right around that time where it's like, all right, we've kind of done this to death. And I just missed that one. It's just it was really fun. It's like 2 hours long. It was like $3 to rent. I normally don't rent stuff, but I just thought this was kind of something that would work as a rental. It's not really a lot of money. It's not something that you're going to necessarily revisit. I got a handful of titles that I never heard of, or at least got reintroduced to. Like there was this real weird one from like Hammer or something that was called something. It was like vampires or something. It looked kind of cool. So yeah, I mean, it's fun. Check it out, guys. I recommend it. It's for the mainstream. Keep that in mind. Like, there's going to be titles that you're like, what? I heard of that. Of course you did. Don't be a jackass. I was reading some of the reviews on the Amazon. It's like Near Dark. I've heard of that. This is stupid. This is not 50, horror films that I've never heard of. Like, come on, dude. You're just being a jackass now.
That's a Catherine Bigelow movie too, which is fucking awesome.
I think it's kind of like one of those things where it's like 50 horror movies that you might have heard of, but you probably haven't seen.
Yeah, but that's not going to be a catchy title, right?
Well, no, I'm not trying to rename it. I'm just saying.
No, you're exactly right. That's what it is. Like, it's more about just talking about some fun films that might have went under your radar and talking about films that, are lesser popular titles. And it's fun to talk about, shine some light on some of these films, like, Inside and shit. There was so many.
Inside is so good, man. You should have picked up that DVD from Go Hastings because that was a good price, but you don't want to listen to me.
That's kind of broke.
Yeah. You could have got it for like $7, Moodz.
Fuck, that is a good deal.
That's
I can't believe that shit's out of print, man. That just...
Because everybody wants it because the movie's fucking amazing. It's so good.
Also, quickly, it was narrated by PJ Souls, and like Linnea's in there and stuff. There's some cool people in there talking about stuff.
Cool. I'll have to check it out. I like documentaries like that.
They're fun. Like countdowns. I like them.
Yeah. Am I next?
Go ahead, Jeremy.
All right, I'm going to be talking about a movie that you guys shouldn't watch because it is a movie that needs to be discussed.
So this is an avoid of the week, huh?
I have yet to do one of these all season.
I, like JP, has not watched many movies besides Sleepaway Camp films this week, but the one I did was a film that was actually about 68 minutes long, which I popped in and I was like, I always press time on my Blu-ray player to see how long the movie is, and it's like 68 minutes. I go, 68 minutes? What is this, fucking Manborg? But at least with Manborg, it worked at 68 minutes. But I know Moodz said 78 minutes would be enough, but that movie worked as short as it was. And this movie came out in 2012, and that's called The Feed, okay? Now, this is a found footage film, and if you guys look at the cover, it looks like fucking ass. That cover is just
It looks like every found footage film ever made. I
was at Family Video, I was like, this movie looks really fucking shitty. So I picked it up, I started reading the back. I was like, this actually seems kind of interesting. I'll read the back. It says, having secured what appears to be the ultimate venue in the form of the historic Brunway movie theater, the Ghost Chasers, a team of reality TV paranormal investigators, are confident that their annual live broadcast will be one of their best shows to date. However, when the sleepy central Pennsylvania movie house turns out to be a bit more active than they had anticipated, the prospect of record-breaking ratings quickly take a backseat to the basis of all human instinct, survival. And the funny thing about this film is there's not one death in the entire film. That's not a spoiler. Not one person dies. There's ghosts, but this film
is really fucked up.
Now, this film obviously has a low budget. The ghosts are just hologram people. And it's just fucking laughable. I was watching it and I was like, that's supposed to be a ghost? I was just pissing my pants laughing because it's just like the Jaws and Back to the Future 2, but as a person, and that's supposed to be a ghost. I was just like, are you fucking serious? And it's the whole film is based you're watching a fucking TV show. There's commercials, fake commercials, intertwined with the movie. So the movie's really only 50 minutes long, and there's 18 minutes worth of fake commercials, and this is definitely the best part of the film because Lloyd Kaufman makes a pretty funny cameo in one of these commercials, and that basically makes the entire film. And why Lloyd decided to do this makes no sense to me because the film is this complete ass all the way around. It had the cool premise taking place inside of a haunted movie theater. I was like, I really haven't seen that before. I mean, Midnight Movie takes place in a movie theater, but it's not a found footage type film. I thought it could have been a really interesting idea for a found footage film to take place. Usually you see found footage films taking place of course, like my favorite, an abandoned hospital or a haunted house. But like an abandoned movie theater, I thought was a really interesting idea, and it could have actually been quite interesting and quite fun if maybe the filmmakers had a bit more of a budget and more resources at their hands. But between the entire film being like a fake TV show, like actually being a fake TV show, like in Grave Encounters, it's supposed to be a TV show, but they don't have fucking, commercials intertwined with the fucking movie. And there's actually people actually die in the fucking movie. In this movie, like no one dies. Like one of the actors gets like a burn mark on their neck, and then she leaves. She like goes out like the emergency exit and leaves. It's like, are you serious? In like other ghost movies, there's like no way out, but in this movie, it's like, oh, you could just go out the door and leave. I was like, are you fucking serious? It was just so bad, and I'm kind of mad that I wasted $1.50 on it. It's definitely not Bloody Homecoming bad. Well, I don't know. I think filmmaking wise, it's definitely a worse film than Bloody Homecoming, but like, I had to give it credit that it was trying to take an original premise and turn it into something fun, but it just failed absolutely horribly. And with a cover like this, if you guys haven't seen the cover, just look at the cover because it's funny. And that the person said 4 stars, a haunted masterpiece.
Who said it?
Dan Stein of Axamba.com.
Exactly. That's
exactly what happened there.
Wait. And then on the back it says, a haunted masterpiece. I would definitely rate this movie among the top independent horror films I have ever seen. I was like, are you fucking serious?
Apparently this guy hasn't watched a goddamn thing.
I was just like pissing my pants laughing. But if you guys want to see a really, really bad movie with an interesting concept that just went horribly wrong, check out the feed because it's bad. It is bad. I give this one like a 2.5 out of 10.
2.5.
It's bad.
Also, I didn't throw out my rating for my pick of the week. It was a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Nice.
68 minutes. It's bad. It's not worth your time.
Crazy. Nice. Avoided the week number 2.
Yeah, it was bad.
All right.
I seem to watch a lot of shit this week with the sleepaway camps and that. It was not a fun week, but we'll get into that.
I had a hit and miss week with a lot of things I watched, but anyways. My pick of the week is the latest Dustin Mills film. Her name is Torment.
Oh,
nice.
Shit. We need a quote on the next Dustin Mills film by Moodz 616.
on the front cover.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? Yeah. I'm just, I'm going to read the back of this because it doesn't give anything away from the film. I just find it intriguing how this is written. Okay. It says pieces, always pieces, pieces and parts, dissect, disassemble, dispose, always, dissect, disassemble, dispose. You take the parts and keep them safe. Put them in a bottle or a bucket or a bin. Bottle, bucket, bin, keep them. The angels need them. It's a puzzle. The hardest puzzle. A frustrating puzzle.
You know what?
How do they work? Why do they work? Who made them? God needs to know. They made me see. Took my face, but gave me sight. It's his will, and his will to divine and perfect.
Is that this description?
What the fuck is this movie about?
That is the fucking description on the back of the film.
That is like very poetic.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I like it too, but like, I'm sorry, Dustin Mills. What the fuck is your movie about?
Okay.
Did he write that himself?
I'm assuming that he probably did write that right there, and it's
Find
cool
out.
because I read it how it was written. Like, there's a lot of periods in this.
Dot.
No, not dot, just period. Like, it's very broken, okay. Very broken. But I thought that was a very, very cool thing. This movie it's one of those films that's really hard to explain because it's simple, but it's not.
Well, that's why he went with that description.
Yeah. It's really, really fucking cool. And now a little disclaimer here. This one isn't for everybody. And I would probably even say this is not the best first film to introduce yourself to Dustin Mills films. And he even admits that too.
So you're saying I shouldn't watch it? I should just get a different one first.
I would
That
say
is my first one. I own it.
I heard the movie's pretty fucked up.
It's a pretty fucked up film. Yeah, it is. And he even has said, like, he just wanted to do, and that's the coolest thing about Dustin Mills, that he does try things different all the time. You never know what you're going to get. And this perfect example of how he is a filmmaker. And, okay, this one basically starts out, and I will say, Dustin Mills plays this doctor, and he's always off camera. You never see his face. He's just a voice in the film. And it starts out, and he's basically interviewing this person that's been, committed to this hospital. And it's this girl who's been suspected of killing, I think, 27 people. And he's basically interviewing her, and he's trying to get the lowdown and exactly what happens, because they don't have a lot of information. And what it is that, she has killed, obviously, all these people and stuff. And, there's a bunch of people that they can't identify and stuff like that. So you've got that aspect of it. And then it cuts into, like, shit that she's done. And it's almost like a torture film. Like, it's very erotic and torturous, and like she's doing shit to this one guy, and you've got like this corpse on this couch, and it's basically, I don't want to give a lot of shit away about it and stuff, but it's a lot of just like really disturbing kind of art house type filmmaking and stuff.
But is it better than the House Flesh Mannequin?
Oh, totally, 100% way better than that film. It's done really well. It's done really well. The main character. Well, actually, I should just say this film doesn't have a lot of dialogue at all, except for the scenes where she's being interviewed by the doctor, who's played by Dustin Mills. He's basically one of the only voices that you even hear in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Is he in a lot of his films?
He's in a couple, but like I said, he's off screen in this. You never get to see him. And I actually didn't even realize at first that it was his voice until I actually looked, and I was like, oh shit, I think that's actually his voice. He does a really, really good job of selling it too. Like when he's reading the description of what she's done to some of these victims, like when he's talking about like how, he dismembered them, and then she was into necrophilia, and that's a big thing in the film too, is necrophilia. Just a little pointer there.
Warning.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a very artsy film. Very, very well done though. Effects are really good, and it's just to the fucking point. And that's what I love about this film. It's very, very short. It's only, oh shit, I think we're talking about the same length as your film, Jeremy. I think it's about just over 60 minutes or something like that.
We're totally on two different planes here with my film and Dustin Mills' film.
Yeah,
nobody funds Dustin Mills' film. He's totally a low budget.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to work with that guy, to be completely honest. I think it'd be an interesting learning experience working on one of his sets.
I think the length of this film is absolutely perfect to what it is. Mm-hmm. Like you can't extend this, and I think it works so well because like I said, it gets right into it, and it's just an extreme level of visuals the whole time until the film ends, and then it just kind of ends. And I love. This was a great film. And I can appreciate a lot more because I basically watched Dustin Mills' films as they come out, like in sequence.
Uh-huh.
This is so fucking different than what he's done in the past, and I really, really respect that. And the cool thing about Dustin Mills is that his next film, I think, is going to be like another puppet film, which is like it's like going. He's all over the place, and this guy just never stops, and it's really fucking well done. And like I said, it's not for everybody. I think some people that like some of his other films might not enjoy this as much because of the extreme, kind of ideas and visuals and shit that's going on in the film. It's just not for everybody. I mean, if you're not into, necrophilia and shit. I mean,
if you're not into necrophilia, you will like this film.
Yeah, but people like
I
Danny.
watching films.
I mean, people like Scotty probably fucking love this film because he's into the hardcore shit.
But the thing is, I really like it too, and I'm
wait. That's the quote, dude. That's the quote on the box.
Yeah.
If you're into necrophilia, you will like this film.
4 stars.
4 stars.
I mean, obviously, necrophilia is when you really think about it, it's fucking nasty. But I have no problem watching it and stuff if it's done properly, and I think it was done properly. And there's a lot more to it though, and I don't know, man. It's a film that I wish we had got a chance to do as the main review, because then we would all know exactly what we're talking about. But it's good, man. I really recommend this, man. It's different. It's fun.
Is his best movie or no?
It's personally not my favorite film by Dustin Mills. I will admit that. I think the Bella Skinless Pete, which has also been renamed Skinless now, I think might be my favorite film by Dustin, because I think he just kept getting better and better up to that point. And like you said, he when he put this, before this film came out, he even said, this is a lot of people are not going to like this film because it's not what I've been doing before. And he tried something different, and I like it. And I'm not like,
gotta give him credit for that, man.
So if I had to rate this film, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. The thing is, I'm just such a big fan of Dustin Mills films, and I think this is just another piece of his
filmography.
His filmography that really does work. And I just can't help but love how he's always changing up his films. It's amazing. But everybody go out and grab a copy. Actually, this might even be gone now. I'm not 100% sure. That's the thing with Dustin films, is that if you're not getting them right away, they're gone. So
I gotta give. He's such a hard worker, that dude.
Have you seen any of his movies?
No, but just from talking to Moodz and the reputation he has, even from Cinema Wasteland, people know Dustin. Dustin, blah 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 blah. Like, even just,
it feels like I know Dustin. Yeah, I haven't watched anything.
Even just like following him, being his friend on Facebook, and seeing him talking about making his movies. I know, like, I made a 5-minute short and it fucking took me 15 hours. Like, I can only imagine, like, having to light a set, having to do effects, having to do this, having to do that. And he just keeps pumping out these movies that, obviously, from I respect Moodz's opinion, they're obviously quality films. And the rate that he's been pushing out these films, it's like, and having original ideas and, interesting concepts, it's quite remarkable. I got to give that guy a lot of credit, and
I'm gonna reserve my judgment a little bit on him. Like, he seems like an awesome guy, and what intrigues me most about him is the thing that Moodz says, how he has so many different ideas, and he has range as a filmmaker. Like, he can do this and then try this and then do a movie with puppets, and like that is really interesting to me, and that's what I'm looking forward to see.
His range is actually insane, but it's not even, it's the stories and everything that he does it seems like it's original every single time. Like, you can have lots of range, but it's the originality that's really coming out of him. Like, it's really phenomenal, man. It's really phenomenal. And you got to give the guy credit, like Jeremy said, though. He's pumping out a lot of stuff, but he's putting out quality things, and he's doing everything himself.
Yeah.
That's what's amazing about it. Like, he's always, he does work with a lot of the same actors and actresses and stuff. If you watch all his films, you'll recognize some people, but that's very prevalent in a lot of filmmakers, world, using the same people.
Tim Burton and fucking Martin Scorsese, even they do it, and they're fucking, A+ directors. So it's like
exactly right, and I got no problem with that, man. I think I'm just really looking forward to the new film too, new puppet film. Cool, it'll be awesome. But yeah, so that is going to do it for the pick of the weeks. And I guess we are going to get into what we've all been waiting for this week.
Sleepaway Camp.
And like I said, we've had this plan forever. Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, it was actually Sleepaway Camp or Jaws. That was our two choices to kick off the summer.
Yeah, Sleepaway Camp's more fun.
Yeah, I think Sleepaway Camp was a good choice, man. But yeah, this is going out to everybody that loves summer, and hopefully you guys. Hopefully everyone does a lot of camping this summer.
This is a message coming from JP. Doop 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 doop. There will be spoilers in these reviews because you can't talk about Sleepaway series without having spoilers. So there will be lots of spoilers. So,
and I would actually go to say, do not listen to this if you haven't seen them. I actually recommend you see at least the first one before you ever spoil it for yourself if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think this is one franchise that you pretty much have to talk about it in full. You can't beat around the bush.
No
It's the
way.
only way to do it. So, I mean, with that said, Sleepaway Camp from 1983. 1983. Oh, I got the hiccups all of a sudden.
I can give the synopsis because I actually want me to do it. You want to do it?
Go ahead.
Nope. Go ahead.
All right. So the film is basically about a girl. Well, do you want me to say it right away?
No, just give the synopsis.
All right.
We'll get to that.
All right. So you got a girl whose family gets tragically killed in a boating accident, and she gets sent off to live with her aunt. And the film flashes forward. It's like 15 years, I think. And she gets sent to a camp and gets sent away to a camp with her cousin Ricky, and of course her name's Angela. And we could tell that something's definitely not right with this girl, and everyone picks on her because she's different, and she has fun murdering them. Let's basically say it with that.
Well, we don't know that it's a whodunit.
It's a whodunit film until the end of the film. Now,
Well, obviously,
well, fuck you, JP. Okay. Now,
it's a whodunit until the end of the film,
now
and then it's a
I
whodunit.
I had to get this film a lot of credit for doing something original with Angela's father, with him being gay. Now, I think at this time, being gay was definitely looked at as being, something totally different than what we see as accepting as we see it as today. And I found that aspect very interesting, that he was gay and that he left his wife, I would assume, to be with another guy. And I really
Or he was having an affair.
Or he
It
was
never really filled in on it. It's
Yeah, that's
actually
the
kind of
thing.
bizarre how they even reveal it. It's just out of nowhere.
But I can't think of any horror movie at the time that we saw a gay couple like that, unless Moodz, you could fill me in on anything that you think of that there was gay characters like that at the time.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but it is kind of interesting how they do throw that into. I mean, I think it's obviously
It's definitely not a major plot point. It doesn't have anything
It's
to do
not,
with
but
the
I think
film,
it-
but it's like
I
it was
think it-
interesting.
I think it does kind of relate maybe to the whole thing with Angela later on. I don't know if it was meant to be like that, if they
Well,
wrote that specifically. What do you guys think? Do you think that they wrote that
Angela
specifically?
likes that boy, Ricky's friend.
Paul,
Now,
Paul.
maybe as being a little girl, seeing her, well, little boy, seeing her father with another man, maybe it kind of didn't. Maybe it seemed kind of okay, even though I think it has something to do with that.
Yeah, I never think I've
You know-
thought about that.
Also,
because you
before
never-
we get into this film too much, first of all, the one thing I want to say, the girl at the beginning is the worst driver ever.
Yeah, yeah.
The girl driving the boat, oh my god, that is like ridiculous.
I wrote that
And
right.
second-
I wrote that like right on the top. I said bad dialogue, and this chick is a bad driver.
This guy, the cook, what the F?
Yeah.
That is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever witnessed in
Okay,
a movie.
seriously, I have so many problems with that sexual predator
And
cook, man.
Not even with the cook. The film is so fucking racist. It's like it's 1984, and there's still like, oh, you got the group of black guys and the old black guy who controls the younger black guys, and it's like, oh, we're gonna give you $1.50 raise if you take this job. It's like,
I didn't even notice anything like
Dude,
racism.
Well,
it's racist if you
that's
pay
interesting.
attention.
I think it was it's stereo. There's definitely some there's some things going on there for
Yeah,
sure.
and it's 1984. It's just like, this is,
I think it's a little bit of profiling, really, because you got this. I know what's going on there.
you got the white guy controlling the black guys who are the side cooks, and the white mighty guys. The white pedophile is the mighty white guy who controls everything that the black guys do. And then when the black guy gets,
I never looked at it like that.
yeah, see, that's why we have these conversations, because everyone has different views on the film.
Interesting.
That's interesting. I didn't look at it like that, but I do see where you got this one race over here, and they are working for the man. I did see that. I saw
And you even
a
saw
few
that.
black guys.
I'm kind of
working for the man.
confused. Wait, what's going on?
Okay, when the white pedophile guy left after he got burned by Angela, which is awesome, a really awesome effect scene, by the way. The main Mel puts the old black guy in charge. He says, "Oh, you could be the head chef," and you'll earn $1.50 more an hour to the workers and 15 hours a week to the main black guy, the main older black guy. Do you remember him, JP?
Yeah.
Okay, so when the Rudy, I think was the guy's the chef or the chef's name, Artie. So when Artie gets burned and he leaves, Mel puts the main black guy in charge, and it's like, oh, make sure you tell the younger black people not to say anything about what happened to Artie. It's like it's totally racist.
I think that even if it was like, say you interchanged that guy with a white guy, do you think, like, I would have never known? To me, I didn't really see it like that.
But it's one black guy, one white guy, and like 5 or 6 black guys were running this kitchen. So I think there's definitely like something there racism wise. I don't know. Maybe I saw like, you got the main chef all in pie.
I'm not 100% sure if that's what they were getting at, but I totally see where you're coming from with that, though.
I don't think they were coming that either, but being in film school, I've learned to pay attention to these kind of things. It's just I thought that was like definitely like the most interesting aspect of the film.
I definitely don't think there was any ill intent behind that.
There's no.
It might have just been like subconscious.
I think it might have just been kind of coincidental, really, with the races there. But who knows at the same time. But getting back to the sexual predator. Oh my God! Is it ever fun?
Have you ever felt more uncomfortable, dude? Every time I see it.
Every time I watch this movie, man, it makes me feel so shitty. I'm like, this guy is so blatantly fucking disgusting, man.
And it's even worse that like the other characters are like, oh man, geez, that's fun. Like, what do you like? Okay. If that guy said that, I would knock him out. Like, I would punch him directly in the face.
I have a big problem with that scene, though. Okay, so when Angela and her cousin go fucking running out of the fucking, the bus. Back there. Okay, obviously it causes a scene, and people recognize that.
And he comes out tightening up his belt.
Yeah, he's doing up his fucking belt, and no one seems to realize that. If I saw some dude coming on the back after kids are running out and he's doing up his belt, I'd be like, I wouldn't even say a thing. I'd punch him in the fucking face.
Yeah,
I'm like, but I know exactly what you're doing.
You could tell Mel's a fucking dirtbag, and Mel is the only one that runs in there and be like, "What's going on in here?"
But he is. I mean, it is his camp, and he wants to keep things a little bit kosher.
He was gonna fuck Judy though, or not Judy.
Well, who wouldn't?
He was gonna fuck Meg, but how do you know Meg was above 18 though?
I think.
She was a counselor. You assume that they're...
I think she's implied that she's older, but...
Yeah, because she's a counselor. The counselors are always like, 18, 19.
But still, it's kind of funny, though, because Meg is like 18, at least 18, 19 or whatever.
I would not fuck Mel. It's like a hot piece of ass.
Mel's like...
But that's what I always kind of found interesting about this film, is because, like, okay, let's say that doesn't happen, though. That does happen. There are, like, hot young 20-year-old girls who
it's called gold diggers.
Like, fucking, that happens all the time, even without the gold digging thing. Like, it actually happens without that too, so it's not too like crazy. And man, Sleepaway Camp 1, I remember the first time I seen it, and the whole time I was like, this is just such a generic slasher. Like, the kills are not like done well. If you think about
not even that. Some of the films.
Well, let me take that back.
All right.
The kills are done like well, like effects wise, but none of them make sense. Like,
not even that
boiling water one, like that.
You could obviously.
Doesn't work.
Not even that. You could physically see that the killer's a kid, which kind of ruined it. We knew
really?
Yeah, if you really pay attention to like the shadow and stuff like that, you could obviously tell that it's a girl's figure. And it's
aren't they using a different actor as the killer though? Like during the scenes that they're filming that, like they're not.
Okay,
Angela's actually not doing that.
Maybe
stuff.
You can't tell that it's a girl, but you could obviously tell that it's like, I don't know. I just noticed. I actually wrote that down. It's like, I actually like noticed that if you like pay attention to.
I had no idea when I definitely got if I thought anybody, I thought it was the old guy.
I found myself looking at the hands and going, "Well, those are little hands."
Mm-hmm. Maybe that was it.
But the thing is, those hands they look like male hands.
I knew the secret, so it's
because if you know, then you're obviously going to be looking for the thing. But I seen it and I didn't know. I was thinking that okay, um, I was knowing that the old guy's hands wouldn't look like those, but I was thinking, well, maybe they're just like, filmmaking. They're just doing it bad. Like they're just going to trick us, like
There's a
using
lot
some
of
cheating techniques.
there's a lot of bad things in this film. Like
Um,
the mustaches are like, oh my god, I'm not even gonna get into that.
Yeah, dude, the cop. I think it's one of the cops or whatever. Like he's got the fake fucking mustache, like that black little mustache.
Like I was like I was
yeah.
like looking at it, I was like,
man,
I could see the glue.
this is the first time I ever noticed that, and
Yeah.
maybe it was because it was the Screen Factory Blu-ray. I'd
Dude.
never noticed it before.
Dude, that mustache is so
It's
bad.
like I could like see
It's
the glue
so
on
bad.
his lip. I was like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
so-
terrible.
But back to the kills thing, like the pot one, like that you can get out of that, like you just push off the wall, right? The B one, you climb under the door, like
Yeah,
these kills,
I wrote that down. Why didn't he climb
these
under
kills
the door?
actually don't make sense, like in terms of escape routes. Like every one of them is almost like escapable, sticking the
Besides
knife
the
through
canoe.
like the
Besides
door
the
of the
canoe. Because she was
Yeah.
like holding him under. What is he gonna do?
I mean,
It's not like
I
she
don't
could
know.
kick
I
him
don't
in
think
the
she could
nuts.
hold me under.
Yeah, but
Yeah, she
but
could kick him in
that
the
one
nuts.
pissed me off though too, man, because I was like, seriously, a fucking, I don't know, man. Like she's a little fucking weakling.
Mhm.
That's what
She's gonna fucking hold him
she's
down
a-
like that.
She's a guy,
Yeah, I understand that too, but
so she's
still a
really like
tiny-
kind of like his
No,
side.
but she's manhandling
Yeah.
him. Like she's twice the size though. Right?
Yeah.
I keep saying she, but you know what I'm saying though. Like if you watch the scene, like it's just like what? Come
Mhm.
on. Like she looks way too fucking strong. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
Judy is
She's
one
a
of the
hot piece of
biggest
ass.
bitches that-
She's a hot piece
how,
of ass.
how old is she?
I don't know, but this is her only film.
She's really I've seen interviews with her after recently. She seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's funny is she actually looks like a girl I dated in high school named Shelby.
Well,
Like very similar.
for 1983, she looked alrighty, I have to say.
So yeah,
I'm surprised we
Judy's-
haven't brought up the fact that this movie is like, well, pretty much kind of like a blatant Friday ripoff.
Yep. I even wrote that down many times. You have the canoe scenes, which is an obvious Friday the 13th. Like there's like so many canoe scenes.
well, it's an obvious summer camp thing.
Yeah, but
It
you
is,
can tell
but-
what they're going at. They're like in the canoe in the middle of the lake, and like it gets something bad's gonna happen just because you saw Friday the 13th.
It actually kind of has that feel though. It
When
just
did
has
the burning
feel-
come out, Moodz?
81.
81.
See, I think that I don't feel like a whole Friday the 13th vibe in the first Sleepaway Camp, but I feel the summer camp
And
vibe. But
you had the
Really, you don't get that whole that whole camp setting and like.
you had
yeah,
the
but
arrow
that's a
scene.
summer camp. Like it feels like Friday the 13th because Friday the 13th has done the summer camp thing so many times and it's so good at it.
Yeah.
But I never really feel like it doesn't have any. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a Friday the 13th ripoff until the sequels for me. personally.
You had the arrow
Huh.
scene. Arrow. It's like that's obviously a ripoff.
Speaking of the arrow
scene,
scene,
Interesting.
that is one of the best kills ever
in Friday the 13th or in this.
in this.
Yeah. Ever
The-
like of all time.
Did you ever you ever look at it? It fucking is like it looks like the guy gets shot with a real arrow. Like it looks like he's dude, that scene is amazing. Even when you slow it down, it still looks amazing.
Mhm.
Like that was perfectly pulled off.
Yeah, that was Mel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
who
man.
who
Lucky
obviously
Jake mentioned.
deserved it.
Watch that scene a couple more times.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Okay, speaking of that scene right there, I would like to know your guys' opinions about that scene because right before they give the reveal in the film, Mel gets that fucking arrow through the throat, and then it cuts into the the backstory and the explanation to what you're about to see as the reveal. Do you guys figure that's needed? Do we need to know? And
About Angela's aunt dressing her up as a girl.
Yeah,
I
her
think
aunt-
we do actually.
you
I
think so?
I don't think that it's necessary for you to understand, but I think it adds this very creepy moment where this aunt from the very
No.
beginning.
No.
Wants a
My
girl.
question is to show that before the reveal. maybe show it after the reveal.
Wait,
then
wait.
I don't think it would end on like a good point. It's like the reveal's like the huge like ending plot.
No, because I know when I first seen this, I was just confused right there, and I didn't even put two and two together until I seen the actual like penis reveal, and I was like, oh my god, that is so creepy.
Yeah. See, the way I always
the first time I seen this
going.
was recently. I seen this probably like 4 or 5 years ago for the first time and went in spoiler free. So this is very fresh, my first memory of this film. So I really remember exactly what I was feeling during it.
I really think like this one like probably one of the like most like shocking horror endings of all time, in my opinion.
I think it is the most shocking ever.
I think like this is like the one film everyone talks about when it comes to like, oh, have you seen this ending?
This film wouldn't be anywhere without the ending.
Yeah.
Like I think it would be just like it would be nowhere near the cult status that it has. It would probably be one of those other slashers, the lower tier slashers. But it would not be talked about like it's talked about now without the ending.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, my question was it better before the reveal or after? And like I've always kind of thought about it, and for some weird reason, it always off-puts me that I find that. I remember the first time I'm totally gonna lie, I don't remember the first time I watched this movie, but I remember watching it, in the 90s or whatever, and just kind of thinking to myself, like, I wanted it after. And then just one extra scene after that reveal.
So why didn't you edit it and put it after?
But my thing,
it's weird. That's the way I would like it. I mean, right when Mel gets that fucking arrow in the neck, and then it cuts into the explanation, and obviously it's meant to confuse you because you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
and
all
then
of a sudden
obviously
you see like
the reveal,
two dudes like cuddling and stuff, and then
I mean,
like,
I guess it does make more sense to do it like that, but at the same time,
I've
always envisioned it the other way around.
To me.
Yeah.
Because the very ending of the film where it holds on that shot and it goes freeze frame, is absolutely perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That if you take that away, it loses its impact. If you have another scene after that, it loses its impact. Because when that film ends, you're like, I remember being creeped the fuck out and just like completely surprised and just sitting there looking at my friend like, what the fuck was that?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I remember rewinding that back in the day going, what the fuck? I gotta see that shit again. That was ridiculous. But
the film went from like a 4 to like a 10 after I seen that ending the first time.
It's a 10
the first
to you?
time. No, that's not what I said.
All right,
it
JP.
went from a 4 to a 10 at that moment, where it was just like completely mind blown.
Mm. Yeah, this film overall, in my opinion, is it's a pretty decent film. There's nothing spectacular about it. I think it's a little generic.
Disagree.
Hey man, I'm not done. I said it's pretty generic up until the end. And one thing that really sticks out to me in this film is that there's no nudity in this movie.
Yep.
There's no nudity in this movie, which kind of whatever. I mean, the body count's decent at 12. There's 12 kills in the film. It's pretty decent. But there's really nothing special about this movie until the end. The end is, like you said, really, really does make this film. And that's what everybody remembers. And I think that's what counts, though. I think that's what counts.
I'll add to that a bit. So the reason I said, I disagree is because you said there's nothing spectacular, and I realized what you was going with afterwards. But I think that once you have that end, upon rewatch, you start noticing all these cool things that lend itself to the ending and to the overall cult status. Like, I love Ricky. Like, he's like, fuck you, motherfucking cocksuckers, I'll slit your fucking... I love that, dude. That kid is awesome.
Actually, that brings me to another point that I wanted to make about that. I thought that the dialogue in the film was precise to how we would actually talk to each other during a baseball game. At least I know
exactly, dude.
Because I grew up playing baseball.
Upon rewatch, you start noticing these things. Like, the baseball scene was great. Eat shit and live, man. It's like,
but it's just the vulgarness of kids and calling each other cocksuckers and motherfuckers and that shit is totally real. That's actually, I thought it was good writing, actually. You know,
And Mozart when he sticks it, they keep fucking with that Mozart kid. Oh man,
He
it's
was my
funny.
favorite character. He always fucking made me laugh.
And you notice like the ant. The ant is one of the weirdest characters ever, man.
Yeah, her voice
She's just
fucking
like
annoys me.
she's like, oh no, that won't do. No way. Oh, of
Dude.
course I must have. It's so creepy.
dude, the acting by her is so over the fucking top, man.
And she's like,
I don't think that it. I mean, it's over the top, but it's intentionally over the.
No, it
yes,
totally
yes.
is. It's intentional and it's over the top, and it's like, I agree, it's fucked up.
like, did you like think about like how she said, "Oh, go get your physicals from the fridge," and it's like, "Oh, because I gave you the physicals." I was like, "Oh."
Yeah,
and
she's
that's-
like, I'm
and-
afraid that won't work at all. You
And-
can't do that.
and the
Like,
idea
I can't
that
even
like
repeat it.
the idea that's like Angela's like we all
Yeah,
all
there's
guys
things-
know what happens at physicals. It's like having like your mom do that. It's like, oh, that's fucking weird. And even
But
like
that's
Angela,
the hint, though, right? That's
Yeah.
the hint. It's like they can't find out that I did your physical. That's why she's doing the physical, is because, wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like Ricky is awesome. I think Judy is a great character.
she's a fucking bitch.
She is, and she's
God.
she's really good at it. And
Yeah.
I think Angela, all shy and awkward, just sitting there. Good character. Man, dude. How about all the guys when they're like, come on, they're taking down their pants. He's like, oh, screw them, let's go, boys.
Yeah, I even
They
wrote
all
that
start
down.
walking
I wrote
around.
that
It's
down, and I was like,
come on, boys.
I was like, very gay tendencies in this film with like the guys going skinny dipping, and they're like, oh, we don't need the girls, we could just do it by our own. Like,
Yeah, it's like, screw them, come on, boys.
Although Judy had a pretty gnarly death, though.
yeah,
Yeah,
Awesome. It's kind of
death.
brutal when you really think about it, but
you don't
Death
see it
with
though. That's the
question mark.
problem.
I know you don't get to see it, but I mean, just thinking about what just happened there was kind of nasty. But
yeah,
Fucking hate
yeah.
films that do that. Fucking assholes.
No,
Yeah.
I think it is done good. I liked that they didn't necessarily show anything.
Yeah.
It was kind of disturbing to me when I seen that. So yeah, I mean,
She
honestly,
deserved it though.
the gore is like dude. When I seen the pot scene is stupid because it doesn't work.
But
Like,
it
he could've
looks
just
good
pushed
though,
off.
dude.
But when you actually see his hand sticking up and he's like screaming and stuff,
Mhm.
like that kind of like unnerved me when I first seen it.
Pause it,
I can feel it.
pause it, and look at his face, and like you see the boils like
Yeah.
bubbling. It's like that's fucking good makeup for 1984.
And just how he's holding his hands out and he's like, he keeps screaming.
who was it? Who was it in the water? Was it Kenny? Was it Kenny that dies?
That being a pretty damn good swimmer.
yeah.
But he was a pretty damn good swimmer. Yeah, but yeah, I think it was Kenny that he was the one that got drowned in the. But I like that when they find his body underneath.
There's
the
like
canoe.
the snakes like coming out of his mouth.
But if you look at the effects, though, it's actually done pretty good. Like
Yeah.
the
All
body
the
looks
effects are
pretty
great.
fucking gnarly. It looks
Great
pretty
effects.
gnarly. Yeah, I thought that was actually pretty cool because you don't need to see that until that moment, right?
Mhm.
And I think it worked. I think it was actually pretty cool. But that snake dude was like, ugh, gagged me. So gross.
And like, man, dude, they're playing like the water balloon fighting on the roof and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's just scenes in this film that like
I don't
Again,
need to be
they're
there.
funny to me.
Well, not even that they don't need to be there, but I think it's that whole thing with just picking on fucking Angela. It's just kind of elevating that whole thing, right?
And having Ricky just go, "You fucking assholes! I'm gonna fucking
Yeah.
kill you."
And that's Ricky, and then he actually gets in shit in his mouth in that point too.
And then when we
He
even
gets in
see him,
shit.
and then we even see him later. We'll get to it when he, in his cameo in Return to Sleepaway Camp, he's the same fucking way. It's just funny.
Yeah, I love the Ricky character, dude. He's awesome because that's how I would be flipping out. Like if I was a kid and somebody's like picking on my cousin, like that's me right there.
That's exactly it. That's why I said the dialogue's perfect. Like
He doesn't care that they're
flips out.
bigger
He's like,
than
"I'll
him.
fucking
He's like,
kill
I'll
you,
fucking kill you.
motherfucker."
I'll
Wait,
beat the shit out
I
of
have-
you
I have
motherfuckers.
an interesting question. Do you think Ricky knows about Angela?
That is a very interesting question.
I never thought about that watch. I was like, I wonder if Ricky knows what Angela is, or does he like?
I would have to say no.
I'm gonna say no because he seems like he might allow other guys to come around. I think he wants Angela to be friendly and have some boyfriends and stuff like that. So I think if Ricky knew that she was actually a guy, I don't think he'd be like, hey man,
Mm-hmm.
here you go. I don't think so, but that's just my opinion.
I think this film just has, for all of its flaws, with just some poor dialogue, some poor
Really bad
character
dialogue. It's not
stuff.
even poor dialogue.
I don't think it's really bad.
It's bad.
I don't, because there's great dialogue. There's when Ricky is flipping out, when they're playing baseball. There's some poor, but there's also great that counterbalance that.
Mm.
And I just think this film has so much going for it upon rewatch, where you just like finding all these quirky little different things and like things that you might not have noticed on first glance.
Like the opening sequence when they're driving on the boat has to be some of the worst fucking dialogue. He's like, "Can I drive your boat?" And she's like, "Well, I don't know. I'm not supposed to." And she's like, "Oh, come on." He's like, "Well, maybe." It's like the worst fucking dialogue.
I love that part.
It's so bad. And then she and then they're driving and she's like, "Look out!" And they have like 40 seconds to steer out of the way and they fucking kill him anyway. It's like, this made me laugh. It's like they had so much time to like avoid this whole confrontation and they like become like total idiots.
Well, they do hit the accelerator.
Yeah. One thing about this film that cracks me up, man, is all the guys with those short shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
That are showing their
belly shirts and
so
the short shorts
80s.
and stuff, man.
It's funny, man. Like,
And what's
I
even
grew up in
funny-
the 80s. I don't remember ever wearing that shit, man. Like, what the fuck? It's ridiculous.
Even what's funny is like Ronnie in Sleepaway Camp 4 like still has like those short ass shorts on and it's the funniest thing ever.
Totally. Yeah.
I actually like Ronnie, man. He's cool.
Yeah, and he's still pretty cut.
Pretty buff.
Yeah, later on he's still like,
You think that guy juices, dude?
like
I
I didn't
think he
know
does,
like
man.
I even messaged you on Facebook. I was like halfway through the film. I was like, "Oh, that's Ronnie from the first Sleepaway Camp." I'm a fucking idiot. Like they click into like
I don't have like much more to say about the first Sleepaway Camp.
I think I might be out of points though too.
yeah, the second one we'll get into some interesting conversations.
So what would you guys rate Sleepaway Camp? Jeremy, you go first.
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It's not my favorite slasher. I kind of like The Burning a little bit more, to be completely honest. But I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
That's interesting. That's exactly what I have it written down as 7 out of 10. And I think mostly my rating is due to the end of the film. I honestly don't think like the film is like overly that spectacular, but I think it has replay value for sure though. I think it's kind of fun.
Okay, my rating, I love Sleepaway Camp. I think it is so much fun from beginning to end. I love the kills. I think all the kills are absolutely fantastic. And I find so many little moments awesome and funny. I give it an 8 out of 10. I love Sleepaway Camp.
You should watch The Burning.
I should.
It's good, and it has that funny moment too. It has a lot of funny moments actually.
Yeah, and Sleepaway Camp, the Scream Factory Blu-ray. JP, you also watched it on Blu-ray, didn't you?
Yeah, and I think that actually led to maybe one of the reasons why I like rediscovered my like absolute love for the film, because this time watching it, I just was like in love with it. I seriously had a blast watching it. It could have been stuff outside of life where, work was weighing me down and I was just looking for escapism, and I really found it in Sleepaway Camp. Or it could be just that I loved the film and but the picture quality definitely helped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I thought the PQ was amazing on this Blu-ray. So definitely run out and grab that.
When I popped it in, I messaged you guys. I was like, holy hell. Like, this looks awesome.
Yeah, I was fucking blown away by it, man. It was really good. So, but anyways, thought I'd just bring that up for, Sleepaway Camp Blu-ray. But into Sleepaway Camp 2 we go.
All right, now we get into the fun ones. Now, what's the sub? Is this one Teenage Wasteland, or is that the third one?
No, this is Sleepaway Camp 2 Unhappy Campers from the year 1988.
All
now,
right.
this was filmed back-to-back with Sleepaway Camp 3. And I think it's fair to mention really quickly that these films did super well in the video stores because of the covers. Like, they had nothing to do with the films. Like, the cover to Sleepaway Camp 2 is awesome. You know, it had a tagline like something like, Freddie and Jason are scared to play or something, but Angela is there. So you know what? It said something like that.
See, if it wasn't for that reveal at the end.
Good marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so this film takes place between 5 and 15 years after the first film, and we learn that after the events of the first film, Angela gets locked up into a loony bin, and she's given shock therapy and other interesting forms of therapy, and then she is released from the loony bin. And of course, we
don't see any of this. This is all handled through exposition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the film then cuts back to a camp, and of course Angela's now a few years older, played by Bruce Springsteen's daughter, sister Pamela Springsteen, and of course Angela's a camp counselor, and she's bringing back the pain to the naughty kids, as it is said. And that's basically the description of the film, is like, oh, who's murdering these kids again, because they don't know it's Angela. Is that a good enough description?
Yeah, Sleepaway Camp 2. So this one right away, this is not a whodunit.
Nope.
This isn't even a whodunit until the end.
Nope, we know it's Angela.
So it opens up with, exposition through Campfire Tale, which is hitting all of the classic, starting off hitting a classic, Friday the 13th type moment where they're all around a campfire. It's the horror cliche. Mm-hmm. This one is where tonally, this is completely different than the first Sleepaway Camp. This is camp. This is cheese. This is
it's a horror
comedy. Yeah.
There's a lot of funny things, funny lines in this, and the dialogue's even worse than the fucking first film.
This film is an example of something that knows what it is and knows what is going on around it in order to kind of almost like satire that what's going on around it in terms of slasher films.
I do give him props. The beginning of the film with the camps, the campfire story about the legend,
Yeah.
I really like that beginning.
That's when this is the ones that feel like Friday the 13th to me.
Yeah.
Like,
mm-hmm. It's definitely not the worst horror sequel. I gotta say that.
So what do you guys want to open up with? Like maybe Angela, Pamela Springsteen?
I just want to talk about the beginning campfire story. I think it's interesting in the beginning of the film when they talk about this legend. I know they're kind of jazzing it up a little bit, and they're talking about how 30 people were killed at this camp and stuff like 30? That. I was like 30. I'm like, I know for a fucking fact it was 12.
You guys remember the kids, like the group of kids that have their heads bashed in or something in the sleeping bags?
Yeah.
In the first film, how many was there? You think?
Well, that's the thing. It's just open for interpretation.
Yeah. So that was kind of a little they could have almost went a little further with that to really shock some people with
we killed 786
It reminded me of the squirts
kids.
from South Park. when he keeps losing the squirts.
Yeah.
that guy takes him out. He's like, I don't want to take him out camping, and then they just all die on him. I feel bad for that guy. That guy, imagine trying to explain that to the parents. Like that guy's life is fucked.
Oh yeah. But they blatantly tell you in the beginning of the film about the sex change and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they go into the psych ward. I thought it was just pretty out there. It's just
the reason for it is just because they wanted Angela to be a woman. I
think they had no choice but to just blatantly say there was a sex change, and then when she introduced the character of Angela, she's totally a woman now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's one of the only
and then when she takes off her shirt and she's wearing that white thing.
That's in the third one, I think, isn't it? No, that's this one.
This movie two movies blurred together. No, but they were in the cabin though, and they weren't in the cabin.
Yeah, but they were. Yeah, I think so.
No, they were.
They were in the cabin.
Oh my god! This fucking movie is fucking blur.
So one thing I did notice about the first thing about Sleepaway Camp 2 though is they introduced some tits right away, which
Yeah,
there was
we
none in
know
the first
what
film.
we're dealing with,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, here we go.
Just wait till the third one.
There's
It's
a
like pure
lot.
tits.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
I think the second one might even have more, right?
It could.
Yeah,
It
no,
might.
the second one definitely has more, I think.
yeah, there's
I
a lot
think-
of tits in this one.
I think a lot of it has to do with the tit patrol. Remember the two like 12-year-old
Yep.
boys that are on the tit patrol?
Which when we get to Sleepaway Camp 4, like that'll be a whole different thing. I love when Angela catches them and they're like, "Did you take the picture of Angela?" And it's like,
Yeah, is the one of Angela in there?
oh shit, that made me
but this-
laugh so hard.
This movie basically is it's a horror comedy, man. Like, I mean,
Oh,
this is where
straight
Angela, all her one-liners when she's doing shit to people, like
Especially at the ending when he's like, "Oh, his head's on MTV," and just fucking heads in the TV. I was like laughing so hard.
yeah,
Yeah.
shit like that. Like one of the first kills in the film, I think, is when she cuts out the tongue.
Yeah.
And just what she says, and I'm just like, oh, fuck, this is awesome. I don't know. It's
So-
enjoyable.
This is one where they take the cliches of like don't smoke weed, don't have sex, don't do that, and they actually point out like this is why Angela's killing people.
Yeah.
Like she's just a wholesome good person. Like it's
Well,
not it's no
Angela-
longer revenge.
Angela is, she's a clean-cut girl. She's openly admits that she's a virgin.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
this is what she hates about people, everything that she's not.
Which
Yeah.
Right?
I kind of had a problem later on in the third film, but we'll get to that next.
Well, in the third film,
What?
she just wants to camp, man. She's just trying to camp.
I don't think she should have killed that kid that she killed when he was tied to the tree. The guy
Alright,
the guy that wanted to fuck her, but we'll get
We'll
into
get
that.
to the third one. So Sleepaway Camp 2 to me, this how I always talk about I hate films that try to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This one isn't in that boat to me because this one seems like it has some heart there. Like it's has these cheesy like bad moments, but it's still done in like this sort of almost classy way.
Yeah, it's definitely not on the level of the third one.
I think that this movie is a perfect example of a sequel that really tried to amp up,
Mhm.
from the first one, because this movie has 19 kills overall in the film, which is obviously quite more than the first one.
And
I mean,
I think it has more gore, blood wise, not like
It does, but I think this movie has, not the most inventive kills, but there's a lot of
That
she kills
toilet
somebody-
kill is mean spirited, dude.
Okay, I was just getting to that, and this movie, she kills somebody in a totally different way.
Mhm.
I think the outhouse kill is brutal,
Yeah.
gross. I think it's
Yeah,
nasty.
dude.
and she has
It's
like shit on her face. I'm like, oh my god.
When she plops her head out there, and she's got those.
And she has
long-
an open
it's like,
wound
oh.
on her back. She stabbed her in the back.
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like it's getting like all like infected from the shit and stuff. It's like just kill me already.
Ugh.
But you have to admit, though, man, like, she's fucking vicious in the film. Like, she has no remorse for anything. Okay, the perfect example of this is when she burns that dude alive.
Yep, and he's
It's like, what the? It's so brutal, and I just love, like, how
she likes fire. We see that throughout like the third and the fourth film that Miss Angela likes to fucking light people up.
Oh yeah, man, she likes her fire.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about this one, but it's just like I think it's a good blend of like boobs and kills and like cheesiness and
Yeah.
like funny one-liners and honestly I think Pamela Springsteen kind of like got the character, like she got the tone of the movie really well.
I still think she can't act worth a shit though.
I think there's moments in there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Jeremy. Like, she's not the best actor in the world, but at the same time, her caliber of acting, I think, is very on the level of a lot of the other actors that are in the film. And
Yeah,
stuff.
it's what's going.
It kind of fits.
Mhm.
Yeah, like if you look at the scene where she's sitting there telling the girl about this story, and in the background the boy's like opening that cabin. Like I thought that was some okay acting. She's like not paying attention. Like, kind of worked for me.
So, my whole thing with the film, though, is like, I don't know if you guys watch this one for the first time,
No,
this or whatever, but
I've had the box set for a while.
okay, so you know, like when it all comes down to it, and she's kind of got like all the bodies like in the cabin, like out in the woods and stuff.
It's like, here, you could have Billy keep you company. I'm like, oh my god.
Like, I thought that shit was so fucking funny to me, man. Like, I remember the first time I watched that, and I was like, really? She's just like killing all these people and just like
storing
she's
their
just
bods.
stashing their bodies in this fucking abandoned cabin.
She's like, don't you want to eat? You haven't eaten all day. And it's like, are you fucking serious?
But it just showed that, like, I mean, it seemed a little out of character. Like, I understand, like, she's completely insane and she's killing people for these reasons, but she's storing the bodies for why? Like, what's her reason?
Well, what's she gonna do with them?
So they're not sitting out in the middle of the, like, everywhere.
She
learned from the first film.
I guess you could put it like that, but
I get what you're saying though. Like,
it just annoyed me.
But it's almost done in like a maddening way, like in a way that's like Norman Batesy, which is totally not what she is.
Yeah, or like,
that's exactly my point.
It just like boggled my mind. It's like, are these fucking camp counselors that retarded? Like, oh yeah, I sent her home. I sent her home. Like, you really think she would send him the whole fucking cabin without like noticing something?
But there was funny moments with that, like, hey man, where did Buddy and Buddy go? And then, oh, they went on a beer run. Don't worry about it. They'll be back later.
Yeah.
It's like, no. There were so many funny scenes that just cracked me up with that. I was like, oh fuck.
And dude, the come on, man, the Freddy glove and
Jason and
then she's Leatherface.
How did she not
get kid's face?
How did they not get
that
sued?
Is awesome.
How did they not get sued for that shit?
Dude, that whole Freddy, Jason, Leatherface thing was so awesome.
And Michael.
Yeah. So now, if anybody ever asks who would win in a fight between Leatherface, Jason, and Freddy, I think we got to go with Leatherface.
I think we have to go with Angela.
Yeah. But yeah, this film is amped up on all levels. Obviously, the kills is so over the top comedy.
Yeah, and that's
the sex is up.
The
whole film is like it's like so much sex. There's the funniest fucking line in this movie ever. I laughed so hard at this part.
You don't got eggs in that, do you?
Dude, I literally have that fucking quote, man. After they have sex, she gets up, she's like, you don't have AIDS or anything.
Yeah, because it's like,
who asked that after the fact?
Yeah. I think it's a little late for whatever the answer is.
But you got to remember, it was like the funniest time because this film was like 1988, I think, right?
Yeah.
And like the height of the the epidemic of AIDS, everyone's freaked out about it, and just the way she says it, I'm like, do you have AIDS or anything? I literally paused the movie. I'm pissing myself all by myself downstairs. I'm like, I'm just fucking dying as I'm writing this down. I'm like, oh, this is too good.
There's a couple times in this film where I just crack up, man. It's like, it's one of those things where they absolutely know what they're doing. They're completely aware of everything that's all the cliches and stuff, and they're using them, and they're doing it in a fun, campy way that's not just like, let's be as bad as possible. It's just a fun experience. It's by no means like a good film, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's totally that that just explains it all, man. It's just a fun, cheesy, ridiculous film, and with major high body count. Like, pretty much. Well, this is another issue that I actually I thought about it towards the end. Like, there's 19 kills, but the last, I think there's a few towards the end that are off screen that really annoyed me, because all of a sudden they just kind of cut into the I think into the office scene. I think it's the office, yeah. And all of a sudden they're just dead, and I'm just like, what? Like, what the hell is that, man? Like, why did they show? They should have put that on screen because it didn't really make a lot of sense.
I was a little bummed there was like no mention of like really like Ricky and them.
They did bring up the aunt again. They did bring up aunt.
Yeah, like, because she's like, that's what my aunt always says. Which, yeah, I mean, the aunt character is just fucking Looney Tunes.
Yeah,
but Sleepaway Camp 2, man. I don't really know what else to say about it besides it's just it. I don't. It's hard to tackle. Like, it's because it's not good, but it's fun. But you can't really explain why it works so well.
I think Sleepaway Camp worked so well because they were just killing off people in different ways.
Yeah,
make it
and
work.
also this is the film that if you somehow found out about it when you're a kid, this is the one you rent all the time because you're gonna see a lot of boobs, you're gonna see a lot of, gross kills, you're gonna see a lot of humor that you don't even get. Like I wouldn't even got the AIDS thing. Um, but this is the one you go back to. You see the cover, it catches your eye with the Freddy glove. You know that there's boobs in it, so you rent it all the time, over and over again. And like it's kind of the one that you try to hide away from the parents, like because it has so much boobs in it and stuff.
There was one scene in the film that I just thought of right now. The scene where I can't remember the kid's name in the film. The kid that was dressed up as Freddy, that gets his throat slashed by the.
That was good. That was a good effect.
It was a good. It was a really good effect.
Slit.
But leading up to that, though, like they're just like walking through the bush, and all of a sudden he's looking for his glove.
Yeah, and
It's like how the hell would you even lose that?
And how could you not find it? It's like, are you fucking stupid?
He's on all fours, and he's like, but they don't like. They just kind of jump from them to him, like on all fours, like looking for this fucking glove. I was like, what the fuck? It was kind of bad filmmaking, but it was still pretty comical.
Yeah, what do you expect?
Yeah, it was fun though.
It's a fun film.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed Sleepaway Camp too.
Way better than Sleepaway Camp 3.
I think this is a perfect example of what a cheesy '80s slasher film should be.
At its like throw all like storytelling out the window. Let's go with this crazy idea and make it over the top as possible. Cram as much boobs and blood as the MPAA will allow us to.
Yeah,
and let's roll with it straight to video, guys.
Yeah, Sleepaway Camp too, man.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah. There's nothing else you could really say about it besides it's fun. Like, there's no way you can defend it as like.
It really doesn't add anything to the plot line.
Like crazy and fun.
So ratings on Sleepaway Camp 2?
I give it a 7.
7. I give it a 6.
Probably kind of high, but
I gave it a 6.
My enjoyment for these films are just—they're not good, but they're good in the way of they're just so fun to me that it goes. It makes
even Return to Sleepaway Camp.
Get that.
well, let's get there. I give Sleepaway Camp 2 a 6.5. I think it's really fucking fun, man. It brings me to tears in a couple parts, and I like the fact that the body count is so fucking high in this movie.
Yeah.
Man. There's literally a kill like every 2 minutes in this movie.
She's massacring everybody.
If you break it down to time to kills, there's a kill every 2 minutes in this movie. It's insane.
Well, she starts it right up in the third one right away. So
yeah. So I mean, that's a pretty good kill.
I love the opening
ratio.
to the third one.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
What is the all right, the Sleepaway Camp 3
Unwanted
Teenage Wasteland from
Teenage
1989.
All right, so the film opens up with this girl getting ready to go to camp, and her mom doesn't want to drive her to the bus stop, so she's forced to walk by herself.
What did her tattoo say? Like,
I wasn't paying attention. I was just waiting for the hilarious. I was just waiting for Angela to show up, and the way she shows up is just fucking hilarious. She's driving this garbage truck down this fucking street, and I would assume it's in New York. And she's driving this, and she's got this fucking wig on. And this is so funny. And then she fucking like goes off road, and this chick's like barely like jogging, and you can obviously tell that she's like not even running at full speed. And Angela's just like driving off the road in this giant garbage truck, but you don't know it's Angela. Like, you don't see it's Angela, but you know it's Angela. And then when she fucking kills her, you don't even see her like get run over. It's just like cuts to the title screen with an awesome song, by the way. The opening title song is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's why I like it. It fits real well.
That's interesting because I don't know what version you watched, but you actually do see her getting hit by the vehicle.
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, I watched the Anchor Bay release.
Okay, you do see her getting hit, but that scene is so ridiculous because if it is in New York, if it's supposed to be in New York, it doesn't make any sense because
like, why is no one like helping her?
No. It doesn't make sense because she's running down an alley. There's no fucking alleys in New York, man. There's no such thing as an alley like that. And like, I never thought of that until you said maybe it was New York, and if it is,
I
fuck,
thought it was in New York.
that's
It
bad.
looks like it's in or L.A. They're always in L.A.
I think it's supposed to be New York because I think they mentioned something about New York in one of them.
I think they do too, and I think that's just, wow, that's just really bad because there's no such thing as alleys like that.
I don't know. I just
It's
thought it was,
really fucking bizarre.
I just thought it was like
There's
one of
no
those-
alleys in New York at all.
No, the buildings are back to back, man. It's insane. There's no such thing.
I don't know. It just made me laugh so fucking hard. This girl running down the street getting chased by this.
I'll tell you why I like the opening. Because the opening instantly lets you know, like, I'll go back to Stitches. It instantly lets you know what you're dealing with. Like, okay, I'm dealing with this completely ridiculous film. Right from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely what it is.
Okay.
All right,
So,
so-
man, one thing I like about Sleepaway Camp 3, though, the very first scene in the film has tits. It totally sucks you in. And I love the line that she uses. She says to her parents, she's like, I'm going to camp and I might never come back. And then she fucking gets waxed like a minute later. I think
Yep.
that's so brilliant.
Yep.
I think it's so funny.
All right, so then the film cuts forward to this camp that's being run by this one guy who's obviously a fucking pervert, and this lady that reminds me of Stewart's mom from Mad TV. If any of you guys know Mad TV and the character Stewart, that lady totally reminded me of Stewart's mother. But
So Angela trades places with the girl she kills
yeah,
so she can get back to camp because she just wants to camp.
thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, JP.
Okay, getting into that. Okay, in the scene where they're introducing all the kids on TV or when they're filming them, dude, that is some of the most awkward acting ever by all those
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they shot that in one take, and then they're just like, "Yeah, that's good enough."
And that wood shot.
Oh, fuck, it's bad.
Where are you from?
It's bad.
I'm from Detroit. And then he like
Yeah.
moves on.
But I love all the characters are so stereotypical, though. So
Oh, yeah.
stereotypical.
Yeah, that
From
guy
where
from
they are,
that guy from Chicago. is
where
like-
their
yeah.
races. Oh man,
Yeah.
it's so bad. Yeah.
But
I
you
mean,
can
the
also
dude-
tell that they're supposed to be like that.
Oh, totally, and that's what makes it so comical.
Like that.
You know,
that,
it's so stereotypical.
that guy from Chicago, the spray paint guy, totally reminded me of the two stoners in Return to Sleepaway Camp. It's like they look fucking identical, and their antics are like fucking identical. Just like made me laugh when I was watching Return to Sleepaway Camp. But yeah,
My overall idea behind Sleepaway Camp, like overall what I think of it, Sleepaway Camp 3 that is Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 were filmed back to back, and I feel like they blew their wad in Sleepaway Camp 2. They used all their best stuff, and then whatever was left over went into Sleepaway Camp 3.
yeah, and it sucks.
Mhm.
I think it's ass. To be
Yeah, there's-
completely honest.
There's a lot of funny moments in this film. Like I like the part of the film where I think where they're one of the first fishing scenes that you see.
And she pulls
And
up the mask.
Well, yeah, when she pulls
Yeah.
up the mask, and then the guy's like,
firecracker, and then he lights the
and-
firecracker.
and then the guy's like, what's the date again? Like, oh no, it's Saturday the 14th.
Yeah, like they know what they're doing. Like that shows
They're
you
totally-
that they know what they're doing. I like it.
Totally. It's so funny. I thought it was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
This one is more to me like the cheesy lines and stuff seem like a little more. It seems like
Dude,
I hate
Well-
the characters more in this
Dude.
one than the second one.
when that lady fucking got killed with the lawnmower getting buried and her head's fucking sticking above the ground, she's like, "Don't kill me, Angela!" I was like just laughing so hard because it's like the dialogue is so bad and like her acting is fucking terrible. It is so funny.
That's actually like one of my favorite kills in the movie, besides the firecracker in the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like the fucking lawnmower to the like, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
It's like she doesn't suffocate her. She buries her and keeps her head above the ground so she can fucking run it over with the lawnmower. And I was like thinking like, oh my god, this is
that's
gonna
like the mean-spirited kill of this one.
this is
Like,
gonna be
it is.
like this is gonna be like Dead Alive and you get some fucking awesome kill and
But
it's just, like,
Angela-
lame.
I found
flagpole,
it-
man. The
I
flagpole
found-
was awesome.
Yeah, the flag.
Oh, the flagpole. Oh, fuck, dude.
I love how you
That
like
body falls.
I love how she like falls like face first and her face just gets like smushed upon the concrete.
Dude, that kill is so fucking funny, and it's especially funny who she does it to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's so funny how she dies. But This one has some of the funniest and cheesiest lines every time she kills somebody. I mean, you think Sleepaway Camp 2 is bad with the one-liners? This one is like over the top bad. Like every time she talks in this film, it's like she doesn't give a shit at all. Like she's totally. It just seems like she exhausted herself from Sleepaway Camp 2. And now she's just like, now I'm just going to fuck you guys up and not give a shit what I say. But her one-liners are so funny. Dude, when she lights the tent on fire, like, just blatantly fucking douses it in gas and just gone.
I love how
just
it explodes. And, like, he's, like, screaming. It's like, I don't think he would, like, scream. He would just, like, incinerate because the whole fucking, like, tent is like, whoosh. And you hear, you hear him, like, ah! It's like, really?
There's some funny ass dialogue in this movie too that really cracked me out, man. The girl that gets killed on the flagpole, the rich girl from I believe LA or whatever, most likely. She when she's out in the woods with her, and she like stops and she's like, "Yeah, I need a ciggy."
Yeah, I need a ciggy.
And then she hits it one time and throws it on the ground.
She literally takes one puff.
It's not even like a full puff. It's like the light up puff.
I know. And I was like, what the fuck just happened here? I'm like, this is crazy.
Like, I think that was a conscious decision. Like, it's like we're not even gonna, waste time with this. We're just gonna say screw it. And like,
were there only boobs in the beginning of the film?
Yeah,
when they're in the cabin with the Asian chick and the other chick,
and then with the old guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one had far less boobs. And you know what? I also feel like everything feels cheaper. Like the sets are literally like tents in the woods, and they like they use like this gimmick where they're like, trying to get characters to go to other scenes. They have to like do this like blindfold game, like, and you could tell they overused it just to get characters at two different places.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like this one's on the whole, like this is where you're scraping the bottom of the barrel of like ideas and money, and just it's pure bad at this point.
But they did those things because they were basically out of money. It seemed like
because they filmed them back to back. That's what I said. They blew their wad with the first film, with the first sequel.
I think Angela Tully goes against her morals in this movie when she kills the blonde kid. All he wants to do is do what anybody in that situation would do.
The blonde kid.
The blonde kid the normal kid who's like the goody two-two who doesn't do anything wrong but try to kiss Angela, who any kid would do the same in that situation.
I'll tell
I think that's why
he's perverse. He's perverse, like bondage and stuff. That's why.
Mm-hmm. But we don't know that he's into that until she already ties him into a tree.
No, they're tied together, and he's like,
they're tied together.
That's right.
Remember, he's like, oh, I feel so awesome about being tied to you. And he says all this like nasty kind of shit. And he's like, dude, speaking of that dude, worst actor, man. That guy sucks so bad. I thought
that guy was so funny though, man.
He was funny.
He was funny.
He was like my favorite character out of all the like
he was
minor characters.
I like the Asian too.
Well, yeah, because she was like hot.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought the film was just It didn't live up to the kills. I love the kill with the bondage kid with his arms flying off. It just made me laugh.
That was kind of brutal.
Speaking of the kills in this film, man, I feel like this movie is like totally cut though.
Yeah, you don't even like see her head get run over by the lawnmower or anything.
No, there is. I think that on the Anchor Bay box set, there's removed gore. No, they're almost positive there's removed gore footage, and it's like work print quality.
Like you can on the special features and stuff.
Yeah, do you have that edition?
Yeah, I do.
Let me see.
I just never just watched
deleted scenes featuring additional gore footage. Yeah, I remember checking it out years ago.
So why the fuck wouldn't they edit it into the film?
I think because it's such poor quality, like work print stuff, like similar to Friday the 13th Part 7.
Just wait till you see the Cabal cut.
Yeah, I mean. But you can tell though the editing's pretty bad in this film. Mm-hmm. It's pretty bad, and like it totally just cuts away like right mid kind of fucking kill or whatever, and I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sakes, you can completely tell that shit's cut to hell. But it's unfortunate, man, because that would have made the film, I think, a little better. Having some of
Yeah,
those
it
kills.
definitely would have.
I think it would have, made it
I don't
stand
know.
a little bit. But
the,
overall,
the ending was cliched. It was her in the ambulance. It felt like I was watching fucking
Yeah, but that's
Halloween
like
part.
this whole
fucking
film is
Halloween.
like that though.
Yeah.
Like everything is.
To be honest, man, I think I like this movie a lot more than you guys did, but
I
think it's terrible fun.
I like the
love that.
soundtrack. I thought the soundtrack is fucking awesome.
So do I, Moodz. I'm with you. I actually do like this one too. And it's bad, but it's it's a step down from 2, but you're kind of getting more of the same stuff, just lesser quality.
And that's a perfect example, or talking about the film. It definitely is a step down from 2, but I think it has some merit to it, man. It's not. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable, man. I mean, for fuck's sakes, dude. I think it's so funny the counselors that bought the place in Sleepaway Camp 3. They're obviously so concerned about, getting out about, all these murders and stuff like that. But, I just love the fact that, like, the husband is just straight up cheating on his wife.
Such a perv.
Like, he just has no morals at all. He's just like, hey, I'm in a different campsite, so I'm just going to go fuck some girls right now.
You know what I actually did like, though? I like the little the callbacks to part 2 where the mask was one, but then she says, isn't there an old cabin up there, where those murders took place? And then there was something else, too. How she's sitting there, like, when they're like, does anybody know the Happy Camper song? She's like, oh, I do. And, then it goes away. Like, it
cuts to Sleepaway Camp 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much my thoughts on Sleepaway Camp 3. There's not much to say about this one.
Okay, ratings, everyone.
Oh,
wait, okay.
I just thought of one more part in Sleepaway Camp 3 I have to mention. It cracked me the fuck up, man. The fucking girl, what is it, the fucking red-haired girl, whatever. She's all hugging up with the one dude, and then, like, throughout the whole film. Yeah, the guy from East LA.
Yeah.
And then she finally reveals him. Yeah. She's like, well, actually, I already have a boyfriend, so you can't move out to Ohio.
Why didn't you say this in the beginning when you're, like, wanting to fuck him and, like, kissing him and all this kind of stuff? It's like...
It was just, like, it felt like bad writing, though. It felt like really bad writing. This is like, you drop that bomb on him now, and he's like, oh.
I guess I could come visit.
But she even said that. She's like, oh, I guess you can just, come out and visit.
And he's like, yeah, I guess I could do that. I was like, are you fucking serious?
Fuck, dude, that made me laugh so hard. I was like, oh, burn. It's terrible. Ratings on Sleepaway Camp 3. Well, since I'm going down 7, 6.5, I'm going to give it a 6, but I really do enjoy it, though. I think it's actually kind of fun, but that's just me.
Jeremy?
I give it a 5 on this one.
I give it a 5 also. I think it's an average one. I do like it though, man. I have fun.
Totally is.
It's way, 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 way better than our next film.
Okay.
Return.
Well, first, really quickly, there is a unofficial manufacture on demand, Sleepaway Camp 4.
I watched that shit. I thought we were actually talking about that.
No, that's not actually even part of the real series. That's just some guy who
I asked you.
Moodz said we wasn't doing it.
I said we're doing Sleepaway Camp or Return to Sleepaway Camp.
All right. Yeah, you never said we was doing 4, right?
No.
I guess I wasted my time then.
Yeah. So this is actually the Sleepaway Camp 4. So the guy who ran the Sleepaway Camp fan website cut together the footage from part 4 that was because in the 90s there was 1 day of shooting was done on part 4, and it's I believe they said 70% recycled footage and 30% of that used footage.
It's 34 minutes of footage.
Yeah. How did you watch that? Did you buy that?
Amazon on demand, bitches. It's $2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, since me and Moodz didn't watch that, care to briefly talk about that one?
Like when we were talking about the kids with the nudie, taking the nudie pictures, that's in there. It's like Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, but with the newer footage intertwined with that. It has
just the new footage. Talk about just the new footage.
Is that what they did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Sleepaway Camp 1, 2, and 3 intertwined with like the new footage. I felt like I was watching Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, like the whole first half of the film. So
But
Flash,
at least Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 like has like a story. Like did the new footage in this even have like some kind of story?
not not really. To be completely honest, like I think it's like somebody from. It was about a girl who. This is what I tried to fucking piece together. It's like about a girl who's like one of the survivors from the first sleepaway camp, and she's like having like these nightmares. So she goes and revisits the campsite from the first film.
And that's where you get the flashbacks.
Yeah, and then like some fucking Angela comes, and it's not even fucking Springsteen anymore. It's some other chick, and that's about it. There's not many scenes with Angela. I think there's like, from what I've seen, there's like one original scene with Angela. Besides that, like, it was not worth my money to be completely.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for whoever paid fucking $15 to get
I know a
this.
guy who actually did pay the $15.
Well,
He was so disappointed.
that sucks.
So yeah, on to Return to Sleepaway Camp.
There is a poster for it though, so like an original poster that.
Yeah.
All right, can I like to call this one? I love to have like the Return to Sleepaway Camp, and then like have like 2 colons and be like the anti-bully film. It's like I felt like I was watching like a fucking bully film. What with this movie? Like,
This one came out in 2008.
oh my god, the way they treat this kid is puts fucking Judy to shame. Like, these kids are fucking douchebags. Like, oh my god. So the film basically follows. Does it take place in the same camp from the first Sleepaway Camp?
No, it's a different camp.
All right,
No, it's
so
a different camp.
so
Yeah.
this film totally dismisses the second and third film, and it takes place directly after the first film. It's directed by the original director of the first film, written and directed by the first director from the first film. And
Didn't that guy also do 2 and 3 also?
I don't think so.
He
Maybe
didn't?
maybe I'd be wrong.
I think he did.
Okay, so we're basically back at a camp, of course, and we got this kid who. Oh wait, the film starts with these kids fucking lighting farts. It makes no fucking sense. I'm thinking, what the fuck does this have to do with Sleepaway Camp? It's just like a camp, and they're sitting there lighting farts, and we're introduced to this fat kid who we could obviously tell is going to be somebody that gets picked on a lot. And throughout the film, that's why I said it's like an anti-bullying film. This kid gets fucking just destroyed.
He's an asshole, though.
He is a bit of an asshole, but he does not deserve what these kids do to him.
I don't know.
Do you deserve that he deserves to get pelted with paintballs like he did, dude?
Well, let me just tell you this. If I was young, their age, I wouldn't fuck with this kid. I'm a different person now, and I wouldn't have did that now. But back then, that kid would have got fucked with bad.
To that extreme.
I might have shot him once or twice.
And that camp counselor, that camp counselor in his cabin was the biggest fucking douchebag ever. He's like, oh, stop being a fucking prick and all these kind of things. I was like, that doesn't sound like any fucking camp counselor I know. But then
this guy tries really hard for people not to like him. Like he's doing anything he can for people not to like him, though.
Okay,
Yeah.
seriously, Alan is the most annoying person ever to be in a movie.
You would have shot him once or twice, right?
I would have chopped his fucking head off, man.
You would have put
this
one or two
guy-
paintballs into him.
This guy is I can't handle him on screen.
He's like,
all
what
he does is
what about my
fucking-
frogs? It's like, oh my fucking god, fucking shoot me.
So basically, in my opinion, Return to Sleepaway Camp is a remake of Sleepaway Camp, except for Alan is being bullied, and then obviously it's a little different. But like seriously, this movie, I don't know. Do you guys feel the same way? Like,
Like,
is it?
I laughed so hard when he said, "Hey, don't be such a big pussy" to the guy who played Big Pussy in The Sopranos. I was like fucking pissing my pants.
Oh, you caught on to that too, man. I love that line. That was actually pretty funny.
He's like, "Hey, don't be a big pussy." I was like, "Ah, that actually is Big Pussy." It's like
I didn't know that. I never seen that show.
His fetish with that bird just made me laugh so hard. It's like,
yeah, that was ridiculous.
You fucking love that bird. I'm surprised like you didn't like kill that bird. Like,
so back to the brief story. This is a whole new camp. The only thing that's kind of related is Ronnie's there from the original Sleepaway Camp, and he's a counselor.
He's still jacked.
There's the Alan kid who's like obnoxious and annoying, and people are picking on him, and people start dying. That's your story. Now, honestly, guys,
but people don't start dying till like 40 minutes into the fucking film, dude.
No. There's a kill right within like the first 10-12 minutes of the film, and then there isn't another kill until about 55 minutes into the film.
With the kid who's smoking joints that reminds me of the spray paint kid from Sleepaway Camp 3.
Okay,
out or whatever the fuck his name, or weed or whatever the fuck his name is.
I love how they call him blowjob. It's fucking
that was funny to me.
And there's like, and he's trying to sleep with it like blowjob. I was like, fucking, this made me piss my pants laughing. It's so bad.
I'll tell you right now. So this whole thing could have ended if little old Alan would have just punched one of them in the face. Okay. Anytime you're getting picked on, just punch the first person in the face and you won't get picked on anymore. Done, over, your problem solved. But anyway, I actually like this one. Isn't that crazy?
What?
Yeah.
Are you high?
No.
Oh my god, JP.
This movie's right up there with Bloody Homecoming as being
really?
Yes, it's
bad.
The dialogue is bad.
Yeah, I got a lot of problems.
Yeah, but the dialogue was bad in all of them.
But now it's just like it doesn't even feel like a Sleepaway Camp film.
No. This movie is actually just annoying. Like,
Alan
is
that
the
kid
worst
is
character
really
ever.
annoying. But I find it annoyingly funny.
Really?
Yeah,
not me, man. I find it so bad.
Like that black chick just is like, oh my god. Could you be any more fucking stereotypical? Like the fat black chick who like stores, what are you, fucking Cartman in Fat Camp? Fucking storing your fatty goodies under your bed?
Like that kid is just so over, like, I mean, he's being bugged and stuff, but he's taking it to like extreme levels every single time. He's a whiny little bitch, and it's fucking annoying as shit. And dude,
but you didn't find it funny when they got him to smoke like cow shit and shot him with paintballs and like, because he's so annoying. You're seeing him get like,
those parts are funny until he starts crying and whining and acting like a bitch. It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. I honestly can't stand it, man. It's just, it's fucking terrible to me, man. It's terrible.
I think they wasted the cameos, man.
They did. Fuck, I have that written down.
Ricky was awesome as hell.
But they wasted Angela's cameo.
Well, Angela's actually in the movie throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
In case you didn't notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in a lot of
that's her the whole
scenes.
time, dude.
She's the cop.
Oh, yeah? With the voice box cop?
Yeah. You didn't see at the end?
Her.
That's her the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
So the reason, I know how you said like it's a remake and stuff. I didn't really get that. I know that the Fry bat is like kind of redone, but if you think about it, it's the same person doing it. They're going to do what's familiar to them. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, pretty much on all levels, I find that movie is kind of like a remake of the first one. That's just what I mean, to the extreme levels. I mean, obviously, they didn't fucking, harass Angela to that extreme. And Angela didn't, react to that extreme levels either in the first film. Like, this one is just so over the top.
Now, I want to bring up one thing. They always say that they totally ripped off a kill from Sleepaway Camp 3, and you know what I'm talking about. It's totally the funniest fucking kill in the film. But when they say, we're trying to we're ignoring the second and third film, when they
who actually said that?
I swore I read on the everywhere.
But it's never officially stated that. You know what I mean? Like that you assume that they ignore it because they say Angela was in the hospital for 20 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not impossible that she could have escaped, and just through exposition we didn't learn that. But
Okay,
you
but
take
even if she didn't, that doesn't mean that they have to fucking steal a kill from fucking Sleepaway Camp 3, which is
it's
obvious when they
I don't
tied.
think that you can steal something that you own.
Well, they obviously stole the same exact kill. They tied him up in the same exact fucking way, and they fucking
They
drove.
tugged his penis off. That's
Okay, and they
it's a little
tugged
different.
and they tugged his arms off with the same fucking Jeep and the same everything. Pay attention. Go back and watch the third kill and see it's the same exact Jeep that he fucking gets his arm teared off when he's tied against the tree, when he gets his dick tied off, which is fucking hilarious. In Return to Sleepaway Camp, same Jeep and everything like that. I don't know. That's the way
I don't know
saw
why
it.
that doesn't bug me though.
It just bothered me. It's like,
Okay.
can you be any more blatant of ripping off Sleepaway Camp 3? Like,
Well, I mean,
But it's
when
the
you
same
look-
franchise though.
but they were ignoring him though.
But they
What
still
about-
exist no matter what.
What
What if
about
they're ignoring them, then they don't exist? Sorry, Moodz.
what about the fucking deep fryer kill? I mean, that's
Yeah.
just an amped up boiling water kill
But it
from the
makes
first one.
sense though, right?
But it's the same thing, and this is the point that I was trying to make before about this film not acting like it's or supposedly not a remake, but this movie is very reminiscent of being a remake. And the
Okay,
problem with this the problem with this movie that the reason why I think it fails on all aspects is not only that it has the most annoying character ever on film in history in Alan, but this movie has 9 fucking kills. It's even lower than the original Sleepaway Camp.
Mm-hmm.
There's 9 fucking kills in this movie. There's
What
like
about
a
all
40,
those frogs?
there's a 45 okay. There's a 45-minute scene or point in this film where there's not even one kill. And it's all basically just annoying scenes with Alan being fucking harassed.
Yeah.
Paintballs.
okay.
He's getting fucking shit on constantly. All these cliche characters just giving it to him. I'm just like, oh my god, seriously, like.
Like I said, it
really-
was a bullying movie.
It basically
See-
is, man. But there's no fucking kills. Basically, all the kills happen. 7 of the 9 kills happen in this film in the last 15 minutes of the
not
movie.
even.
It's insane.
I'm gonna give you a little example of something that the way I saw the Fry kill. Okay, so what is Angela doing? She's doing what she did before. She's doing it again. Okay, so she does what looks familiar to
Oh,
her.
I don't want her to do.
Now, if
on,
you
JP,
look
it's a
at Jason X, when he is back in Crystal Lake, he does what's familiar with the sleeping bag kill. That's familiar to him. It's familiar to Angela. She sees the Fry guy. She sees him standing over the bed. She instantly goes back to this memory when she was a child and killed a guy.
If you look at it from the character's point of view, yes. From filmmaking, come on, do something new.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why that's my point of it being a remake. If you do something different, then it would just be like, well, it seems more practical. It seems like it would work better if you're doing something different. Don't be taking these
I
kills from these.
agree.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's like a return to Sleepaway Camp. Like it's all coming back years later. Like I'm kind of seeing what they was doing. Like,
oh no, I totally understand it, and that's what I'm saying. It's basically her coming back to Sleepaway Camp and then reliving Sleepaway Camp. It's a fucking remake. That's the problem. That I mean, you could have it her coming back to the Sleepaway Camp, which is obviously a different camp, and we know that, but have different kills and just change things up a little bit. I mean,
but
like I said, I mean, the kills and stuff in this film aren't even my biggest issue. It's the fact that it's fucking annoying. Dude, Alan is horrible.
Yeah,
you want to feel for him, but you can't
that.
because he's a piece of shit.
He's a
fucking piece of shit.
I told
dude.
you,
he's so annoying.
How close was I? I told you I was going to turn it off. Like I was really having a hard time staying awake because it's like I really don't want to go to bed. Like
I can't even believe I've ever watched this movie 3 times now. This is the 3rd time I've watched this movie in my life.
Watch it again.
And I'm just like, oh, dude, I just wanted somebody. I mean, maybe it would work better if Alan wasn't as annoying. I mean, seriously, you should have to feel for him. In the first Sleepaway Camp, you feel bad for Angela because she's fucking quiet. She's getting picked on, and she's not saying anything to anybody. And they keep picking on her, and you feel fucking shitty for her. Alan is retaliating constantly. You feel shitty.
In defense of your argument, if that kid was just like Angela, then it would be a remake, right?
Well, totally. I respect that
point.
point. I respect that point. But I mean, don't you agree that his character was?
Oh, he's so bad. And what I think they did is they wanted to go for this like hardcore, like brutally honest, like they are tormenting this kid, but they made the bad decision of making him way too annoying. But also, I want to go back to the kill thing. There's the nail and the mattress kill. There's the rat kill. There's all these other kills too, and then there's one that it's like a little throwback to the fans of the original. Like, yeah, you guys, check this out. This is the fry kill. Like, I kind of saw it more that way. Like, it's like a little nod to the fans of the original.
Yeah. In speaking of not kills, but there's a scene in the film that just, oh man, it bugged me so bad. Okay, when the guys are beating the hell out of Alan with the croquet stick, or when he's getting beat with the croquet stick, it's. I understand low budget filmmaking and stuff, and sometimes things slip and some things happen and they get caught on film, but you can see the pad in his back when he's getting hit with that thing.
Yeah.
It's sticking out the top of his shirt, and I'm like, come on, you guys. Like,
no
seriously?
For that stuff.
That's so fucking bad.
I mean, there's stuff like that in Jason movies and Elm Streets and stuff, but I mean, I've always like hated that stuff, but I wanted Ronnie to say, I think this would have been genius. This would have been like the greatest nod ever to the fans of the original. When the first kid dies, when he's like, smoking the weed or whatever, and like the gasoline like kills him or whatever. I wish Ronnie would have been like, I remember that kid being a pretty damn good smoker. I would have died. I would have lost it right there.
That is fucking
because when
he's
talking to the cop, and he's like, it's kind of like the same scene as the original. And I just wanted Ronnie to be like, I remember that kid being a pretty damn good smoker.
Dude, that is fucking right.
Because it's like it was made to look like an accident. It's like the same thing. Like it was. Awesome.
I love the fact that they made the cop look so phony. Hence, Angela and stuff.
I gotta be honest, I didn't see that coming, and I feel stupid as hell after it was revealed.
How do you think I feel? I didn't even fucking know.
But it's a funny nod to the first one because of the cop with the fake mustache before and the fake facial hair. So that's exactly what they're doing. So I think that's actually pretty funny that they did that. But
it's bad, man.
Yeah. One thing I was super disappointed in, no boobs, man, because this one felt like it should have had some boobs.
Dude. No tits and not enough kills. Like, I don't know how you go from, the first Sleepaway Camp having, what did I say, 12 kills? 12 kills to 19 to 16. 16 kills in Sleepaway Camp 3, which is pretty good. I don't think I mentioned that before. And 9. And they're all pretty much in the last 20 minutes, except with the exception of like 2. And
they should have had Angela's aunt in this bitch.
And that's the thing that she gets brought up, I think, even in the film, doesn't she?
I think so.
Maybe there might be one reference to her, but I know she's brought up in the sequels, and you never get to see her or whatever. But
the ending kind of doesn't make sense, because if you think about it, why would Angela be at that camp? That just so happens it's the same camp that Ronnie's in. Like what that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, I
didn't understand that. And but I loved that they brought back Ronnie, dude. I thought he was cool as hell, and he didn't even die. Again,
he's not supposed to die.
You can't kill that guy, man.
That dude's dope, man. And Ricky is just like foul mouthed as all hell. I like his blonde hair. I hear that dude's really, really chill in real life. Like I've heard stories of like him just sitting at a bar talking Sleepaway Camp films with like outside of a convention and stuff, just hanging out and shit.
Nice.
It's totally awesome, man. It's so good. I'd sit there and bullshit. I'd be like, dude, why the fuck didn't you have a bigger part in fucking Sleepaway Camp?
Yeah, because that's that. Yeah, for sure. Like less fat, annoying kid and more Ricky.
Yeah.
Like I'm with you on that, man. If you take that kid out of the movie and put something different in there. Maybe have it more focused on, just the Ricky and Ronnie and all them kind of counseling these kids and stuff while the adults and kids are getting picked off. Like, way, way better movie.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I was so surprised because I kept hearing like, oh, it's so shit. and that could have been how it affected me, to where like I was going in with such low expectations that a lot of stuff surprised me and I laughed. And you know, it's not a good movie at all. It's actually my least favorite in the entire series, obviously.
It's fucking bad.
But I didn't hate it, man. I would watch it again.
I mean, these films just progressively get, you know, less enjoyable, but I don't know. I can honestly vouch for the first three. I would recommend the first three.
Now, if they had that, I remember that kid being a pretty good smoker line in there. Like, would that have bumped it up a few notches?
It definitely would have brought me to tears because that's pretty fucking funny.
I know, dude. And I was almost like, you know, those moments where you're watching something and you like think of it and you're like, oh my God, like, please do it. And like, you almost feel like that's something that they would do. Like, I thought they was going to say it. Like, it looks so perfect. Like, how do you not write that line in there, man?
It's so good.
This opportunity.
You know, we never did talk about, you know, that scene itself as the, you know, the effects. Like when he like explodes, the CGI that's in that.
Yeah.
Shit, dude, I started laughing so bad again.
I thought the rats in the stomach CGI was funny.
Yeah, it's bad. So ratings, guys, what do you guys rate this one? Jeremy, what do you rate it?
This one gets a sloppy 3 out of 5 or 3 out of 10 for me. 3 out of 10. It fucking sucks.
Moodz?
3 out of 10. Yeah.
Did I talk you up at all?
Nope, it fucking blows, JP. It's fucking.
No,
bad.
I've been pretty much talking a lot of shit about this one for a long time.
But we did laugh.
I mean, there is decent qualities in this one, but I think I'm going to give this one about a 4 out of 5.
Okay, not as low as I was expecting. I gave it a 4.5 out of 10. Wait, you said 5. We're all saying. I think we've been saying 5 the whole show. Our ratings are out of 10, guys.
So just double it.
No, I said 4 out of 10.
I think you said 5.
You said 5.
Did I?
Yeah. Yeah. That we're getting a little tired here, guys.
Yeah,
so
2:30.
3:30 here. So yeah. You know, man, 4.5 out of 10. It's below average. I didn't hate it. I could watch it again. I wouldn't, you know, obviously Moodz could watch it. Why would you watch it like a second time when you didn't have to do it for a podcast? That's what I want to know.
Because when I first watched this movie, I was determined that I was shitting on it more than I should have been. So I watched it again. I was like, no. And that's why I was dreading watching it for this podcast. I was like, fuck. Ugh.
I had so much fun watching these 4 films. Like, I couldn't wait to get to the next one, man. I had an amazing time with Sleepaway Camp 1. It was just, the Bluray was outstanding.
How did you guys watch these films? Because I watched all 4 films back to back. Like, it was basically, you know, 5-6 hours straight.
I think I watched Sleepaway Camp 1 on Friday. I think I watched it on Friday, and then I watched 2 on Saturday, and then I finished 3 up at work today when I was bored. And then I watched Return when I got home today.
Nice.
Jeremy,
You
watched yours early in the week, huh?
I watched one every day. Beginning on Monday.
Yeah, I almost wanted to watch Sleepaway Camp 1 again before the show because, shit, dude, like, it's fun. I love Sleepaway Camp 1. And that Blu-ray, man, that might be one of my favorite releases so far, just based on, like, the picture quality and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Fucking really good PQ on this shit, man.
And this one sold very, very well from what I understand, just based on the first, you know, like sales. I got mine like 5 days early with my poster. It was awesome.
I actually got mine late for once.
Whoa.
That was weird. I usually get it on the release date, but no, I got it late this week. But
so remake or sequel, guys, or leave it alone.
I think
to end the show.
Just leave it alone.
I think it's supposed to be a sequel, but it's a fucking remake in my eyes. Man.
No. I mean like next, like Leave It Alone, remake, or another sequel.
Leave it alone.
Ooh, just leave it the fuck alone. No, fuck it, sequel. I want to see another sequel. Sequel. I'm down. Bring back the aunt. Bring back Ricky. Bring back Angela, and
And yep, just have those. And shit, bring back Judy too, man. She ain't dead. She could have survived that.
No, I think she's Jack JP.
No, dude. Even she says that she doesn't think she's dead.
That's so funny.
You never
really?
fully see because she just falls behind the bed, right?
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, like, getting your vagina burnt necessarily won't kill you, right?
Well, fuck, man. I don't know. But anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for the show. I hope y'all enjoyed this conversation. Shit, dude. Vagina burning doesn't necessarily end in death. I don't know. Sleepaway Camp series. And that is going to do it for season 1 of the 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror. I really hope you guys enjoyed this season, man.
It was a lot of fun.
It
was a fucking blast. It was a fucking blast.
I look forward to it every week. I love doing what we watched because it just gave me like plenty of reasons to pop in as many movies as I could kind of do.
Fucking rights, man. Fucking rights. One of my favorite segments actually in the in the first season was what we watched. So very cool stuff. And yes,
should I do my usual outro? Or do you want to do it?
No, you can go ahead if you want, man. Go ahead.
All right. So, if you want to follow me on YouTube, you could do so at youtube.com/NESRuler22. If you want to follow the man himself, Moodz616, please hit the subscribe button down below. Or if you're listening to us on thedevilseyes.com or on iTunes, go ahead, youtube.com/Moodz616. He is the man. And if you want to follow JP, a.k.a. the man who hates Pee Wee Herman, you could do so at... Oh, wait. The man who hates Pee Wee Herman but likes him in the triple. You could do so at youtube.com/doubleshotjabe. And, of course, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you could do so at 22 Shots Podcast. Correct, JP?
Yes, sir.
And if you want to email us any questions for next season or any suggestions for anything,
next season.
anything like that, you could do so at the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror at gmail.com. That's 22, the number 22.
And I just want to say right now, the first person who says the keyword, which is... Guys, good keyword here.
Tranny.
The first person who says that's kind of a good one. But the first person who either gets in contact with me and says, Tranny. I remember that kid being a pretty damn good smoker. I'll send you something.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Alright, so that's 22 Shots of Moods and Horror at gmail.com. A&D, not the fucking...
Unless you live in like some foreign country, because I don't ever have a chance to get into the post office
yeah.
to actually do it that way.
Yeah.
Totally.
And of course, we will have all the links down below in the description box, so you can check that. If you can't remember all those, but they will all be down there as usual. So.
Yes. All right, everybody. So, once again, from me, I hope everyone enjoyed, this season. I had a lot of fun with it. I think we all had a lot of fun with it. I think all you guys enjoyed it from stuff that we've read and things like that. So, very happy with that. And I think next season when we come back, we're gonna work on the iTunes situation, and I think we're gonna try and get most of our shows up there on iTunes.
Yeah,
and not
right
just
now
the
we
new
can
shows.
Only hold a couple. And we're going to upgrade mics, and we're going to upgrade, the total production of the show.
Yeah.
It's going to sound a lot better.
I think that's really awesome that you mentioned that, because my, Dylan actually texted me tonight, and he's like, man, he goes, I was on iTunes tonight, and I only see episode 19, 20, or 18, 19, and 20.
19, 20, and 21.
Yeah, those 3 episodes, and I was like, oh man, it's due to space and stuff, and he's like, oh, for fuck's sakes, man.
Yeah.
Because he has like random ones downloaded and stuff too, and he's like, oh, because I told him to check out iTunes, and I never told him that all of them aren't on there. And he's like, where are they, man? I was like, oh, sorry, man, it's just due to space and stuff. So
yeah, for you guys, just to like a little heads up, like we're not being like cheap. It's actually like, in the hundreds of dollar range to actually get the amount of bandwidth and shit that we need. It's kind of hosting is kind of expensive, it turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I hope everyone enjoyed this, especially this show. I think we had a lot of fun with this show.
Yeah, it was good times.
I think everyone brought up the comments, and if you guys have any any suggestions of films that you think we should talk about maybe next time or next season,
or even ideas,
or
for
any
shows.
ideas that you have for the show, you could either
Hell, if you
follow
even
us.
want to come on and tell me why Texas Chainsaw 3D sucks, we could probably work that out.
Yeah, so there's always tons of ways you could get a hold of us, either on Facebook at the 20 Shots of Moods and Horror fan page. Lots of awesome dudes. We will not, of course, not be fanking from over there. We'll still be on there during the summer. So if you guys want to go over there, we will, of course, chat with everyone over there. It's always a fun time, always great discussions and things like that, all things horror. So that should be it for me. JP, do you want to say anything?
Big shout out to some of our main supporters like David and Dubby, Adrian, Emperor Corndog, Martin, of course, Zach. I mean, you guys comment every week and stuff. That's really awesome. Am I missing anybody?
There's lots of people, man. There's Don's Bombs. Yeah. There's lots of people that comment every week, and
off the top of my head, those were the ones.
And even if you
names are easier to remember.
And even if you don't comment, we see the views on Mood's channel. How many people do we would assume would listen to the show? So we appreciate everyone, all you guys too, who listen to the show, even though you don't get the chance to comment or give us feedback or anything like that. So
yeah,
if it wasn't for you guys, we of course wouldn't be doing the show.
But we do appreciate it, man. That the having the top fives and stuff, and I mean,
we love the feedback. It's one of my favorite parts. I love when you guys actually ask us questions too. They're always fun to answer.
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed off I missed last week because the most disturbing film I would have had fun with.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. The questions, which we actually didn't do this week. We never had any questions. We never asked for any questions.
I didn't post anything.
No, we didn't actually even. I don't think even we brought it up last week, but yeah, that was maybe that's probably a good thing because this thing probably might have been 19 hours long with the questions, but it's all good in the hood. But we appreciate the feedback, man. Any comments, man, it's fantastic, and that's really what drives us to do it every week to week.
Yeah,
I love clicking onto the podcast and seeing the comments. It's
how many times a day do you do it? Don't you just keep checking back to see if anybody else left a comment?
Well, I mean, I get the comments and stuff.
Yeah, well, I have to go out of my way to click on it.
I actually love to fucking respond to them too, so it's really cool.
I think when we started this, we didn't think it would be like what it is today. So thanks, everybody.
I knew that it would have some kind of popularity based on the following that Moodz already had, but I honestly did not expect it to be as popular as it is. Even people like that guy who found us through iTunes and the other guy who found us through Devil's Eyes, we're pulling in people from everywhere. Twitter, it's really, really cool. And I think people kind of do enjoy what we have to say sometimes, which just makes me feel good because I like to talk, as you guys know.
It does, though, too. And, there's quite a few people that, watch my other videos regularly on my channel and stuff that don't comment on these, but it is what it is, man. Maybe it's not for everybody, but we really, really do support or love the fact that you guys are supporting and leaving the comments and stuff. So just keep doing it, man. I
think even Philip
JP.
I think you might have just got out there.
Oh my!
Oh, yeah, I said, I think even Philip listened to us, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Based on that Mr. Jones conversation or whatever, that finally checked this out. That's pretty cool,
Yeah, and and it was kind of interesting too because after he watched, or I said to him, I was like, after you watch the film, leave a comment back, and he actually did. He got back, and he says he did not like that film one iota. I thought that was pretty funny, but but whole other conversation. But anyways, guys, I think that is going to do it for the episode 22, season 1 finale.
Yes.
Wait a minute, I thought we was going for 22 hours.
Oh. Well, we might as well be. I'm not sure how long the show is right now.
It's about 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours.
It's probably our longest.
But, season finale, I guess it's got to be long. Makes a lot of sense, I guess. But any last words?
No, we'll talk to you guys in 3 months.
I love everybody.
Or you could just go to JP and listen to him next week.
True that.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we're out of here. Double Shot J, NES, Ruler 22, Mood 616. We're getting the fuck out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Later.